Autumn and time to make your outdoor spaces winter ready. Give your garden the short back and sides with our double-sided petrol hedge trimmers and get stuck in with the Pro Plus chainsaw and log horse range. Pair them with our electric impact shredder, complete with collection box and detachable hopper, or the Karcher K4 pressure washer, and you can consider it job done. Visit us online at tjomahony.ie or at your local TJ O'Mahony store.
Always remember me.
Damien doesn't like sad movies, but when his wife booked cinema tickets, he couldn't say no. And now here he is, blubbing like a big baby.
It's so beautiful.
But you know what? He's happy out. While you're out, Phone Watch will protect your home 24/7. A Phone Watch monitored alarm features real-time alerts straight to your phone. Get Phone Watch installed for only €179. Visit phonewatch.ie today. Offer ends 10th of September. Monitoring fees apply.
Are you a new pet owner? Sign up for the Maxi Zoo newsletter and get 10% discount off your next purchase at your local Maxi Zoo store. Terms and conditions apply. See maxizoo.ie for more information. Maxi Zoo, Ireland's largest pet retailer.
Launching exclusively at the Laser and Skin Clinics, Emsella, a breakthrough non-invasive treatment for incontinence and body confidence. Emsella is an FDA-approved pelvic floor treatment for female and male patients. Results in just one course of treatments. Call today for your free consultation or visit laserandskin.ie. The Laser and Skin Clinic. Be body confident. T's and C's apply.
Don't let boring sales get you down. With Virgin Media, you can dive right in and get unlimited data calls and texts for just €5 a month for 6 months for everyone joining, and only €25 a month after that. The sale you've been searching for. Now on. Bring on amazing. See virginmobile.ie.
SIM-only contract, €25 a month after offer. Ends October 6th. For details, terms and conditions and acceptable usage policy, see virginmobile.ie.
Off the ball. This is News Talk.
Very welcome back to Off the Ball's live coverage of Republic of Ireland versus Serbia. Here is the Irish national anthem. As the crowd around the Aviva Stadium get up on their feet and applaud, and ready to see the boys in green back in action at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin. It is Group A of the World Cup qualifiers, the Republic of Ireland versus Serbia. Stephen Doyle here alongside Stuey Byrne. If you've got any text or messages you want to send in, 53106 is the number. So, the Republic of Ireland team shows 4 changes from the match against Azerbaijan, which was a 1-1 draw last Saturday. In comes Alan Brown, Jeff Hendrick and Jamie McGrath alongside Andrew Omabamidele, making his full international debut for the Republic of Ireland. And of course, dropping out of the Irish team, the injured Seamus Coleman and Aaron Connolly, as well as Jason Malumbi and Troy Parrott, who dropped to the bench. Also included on the Irish bench, former Shamrock Rovers player, now at Celtic, Liam Scales, and Cyrus Christie, who was a late call-up to the squad as well. The Serbian team, their last match out was at home against Luxembourg in Group A, and they won by 4-1. And the team shows 3 changes from that game last Saturday. Coming in for them is Milos Veljkovic at centre-back, Dusan Vlahovic playing up front, and Filip Juricic, and he plays on the wing. And dropping out of their team are Matija Nastasic, who is injured. He would normally be playing as the anchor of the back 3. Sasha Lukic drops to the bench, as does Darko Lazovic. They are the 3 changes for Serbia, who are now just second in the group. They were leading the group coming into tonight's fixtures, but of course earlier on this afternoon Portugal achieved a 3-0 victory away to Azerbaijan, and that put them top of Group A and really in the hot seat to qualify for the World Cup in Qatar. So they're on 13 points at the top of the table, having played one more game extra than Serbia, who are on 10 points just behind them in second. It's Luxembourg in third on 6 points, and then Ireland in fourth on 1 point, just ahead of Azerbaijan, also on a point. So you hear the Lansdowne Roar go up there as the Irish team break out of their huddle. They're out on the pitch now, taking their positions, ready to go for this Group A World Cup qualifier at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin. So Ireland wearing their home shirts or home strips, I should say, green shirts, white shorts and green socks. And then the Serbian team, their change strip, white shirts, navy shorts and white socks. The round of applause you hear is for both sides taking the knee here at the Aviva Stadium in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement. There was some confusion over that on Saturday, the Azerbaijan team choosing not to, but the Serbian team with the Irish players in solidarity.
What was the confusion? I mean, they've been doing it on nearly every game for a year now, so I don't know what the confusion is.
It's a very good point, Stewie. So Serbia get us underway. They won the toss, they kick off, and they will be playing from left to right as we look down on the pitch at the Aviva Stadium. And there's an early touch there for their new man in, Juricic, the left midfielder, playing on the right-hand side. He's a Sassuolo player in Serie A, 29 years of age. And he has scored 4 goals for Serbia, 3 of those in the 2014 World Cup qualifiers, interestingly enough, against Scotland twice and 1 against Wales. Here's Mitrovic in a deep position here, being muscled off the ball here by Jeff Hendrick, but unfairly, says the referee, who is from Spain, Jose Maria Sanchez Martinez, and he gives a free kick to Serbia. It's taken, knocked over the far side of the pitch, and Serbia now just go all the way back to their goalkeeper, Rajkovic, Predrag Rajkovic, who plays for Reims in France. In his last club outing saw him concede 2 goals to Kylian Mbappe in the French Ligue 1. So Serbia still in possession here, trying to build the play up on the left-hand side, but some good marking there from Matt Doherty, trying to put his marker up. But Serbia back in possession here once again, and they're on the attack down the right-hand side through Juricic, and he's being watched here closely by James McLean. Back inside to Milinkovic-Savic, and then it's all the way back to the centre half, Milos Veljkovic. Ball played forward here, and it's a good turn there from Vlahovic, the Fiorentina striker. Plays out to the left wing, and we're going to see a whipped in cross here looking for a Serbian number, and it's a header there from Juricic, who's come off the right wing, and the headed clearance was from an Irish player, so it goes out for the first corner kick of the evening to Serbia.
Yeah, it's good passage of play from Serbia, wasn't it? Good possession football. I think Ireland maybe just trying to iron out a few things, maybe going man marking Hendrick, marking Milinkovic-Savic. And I think Jamie McGrath trying to follow Milinkovic around the pitch a little bit, but not getting too tight. Corner for Serbia now. Good delivery.
Left footer from Tadic there towards the far post. Good punch away there by Gavin Bazunu. Then there's a volley shot there from Kostic on the left-hand side, but it comes off the back of an Irish player there. And I think it was Jamie McGrath that came back there to help out with the defending of the corner kick. So it is a throw into Ireland, and Matt Doherty will take this, playing in the right wing back position.
Just getting an early look at the Ireland formation, Stephen. I think it's fairly much as we probably would have felt. That back 5, Cullen and Hendrick obviously being the 2 centre players that will give protection to that back 5, and Jamie McGrath playing left of a front 3, Alan Brown playing right of that front 3. But I think what you will see is Jamie McGrath and Alan Brown at certain times, depending on what side the play is on, they'll drop into midfield and give an extra dig out to Cullen and Hendrick. And I think they were a little bit at 6s and 7s for the first few minutes, getting that ironed out. But another corner to Serbia here.
So corner from the far side, it's an outswinger this time from Dusan Tadic, and eventually it's hooked away by Josh Cullen, the man who's played so well since Stephen Kenny's come over, or taken over I should say, in that central midfield position. The former West Ham man now plying his trade with Anderlecht. But Serbia had the ball back again. Tadic now a little fancy back flick, looking for the run of Kostic down the left hand side. The ball though played out by Matt Doherty, and it's to Cullen, who's tackled from behind, wins a free kick for Ireland. A chance to relieve the pressure here was the Sevilla midfielder Nemanja Gudeli, and tackled Cullen, gave away the free kick inside 4 minutes. So it is Ireland 0, Serbia 0.
Probably an indication as well, Stephen, of the intent of Serbia. They're really squeezing the pie now, not giving Ireland any kind of an opportunity, even on the ball now. Duffy being hard, Mitrovic hassling and harrying him under pressure here.
Vlahovic just picked up possession here. Mistake by Shane Duffy, but Bazzunu's out straight away. Dives at the feet of the Fiorentina striker and gets that ball away. And then Bamadelli picked up the loose one, tried to dribble out towards the sideline on the far side. He was tackled and then won a goal kick for Ireland, but that was a really nervy moment there.
Yeah, started from Mitrovic, we were just in conversation. Duffy receiving the pass from Bazunu, but Mitrovic was hassling him, harrying him, chasing him down. And then Vlahovic joined in, and Ireland got themselves into all sorts of trouble. So that's an early indication that Serbia have come here now to really squeeze Ireland, put them under pressure. Obviously feel that this Irish team, are confidence is low, and if you squeeze them high and put them under pressure, you'll force mistakes. And that's exactly what happened there.
Just trying to get a feel as well for the Serbian formation as well, Stewie, because with them playing the two strikers now, possibly they could have gone to a back four, back three. We'll get a feel for that over the next couple of minutes. It's been hard though to see exactly how Serbia have put their formation out in this first half, because all the pressure's really been on Ireland in these early stages. Mitrovic with a little flick on from a throw into Vlahovic, who plays it back to Mitrovic, but they've given it away now. John Egan picks up the ball, gives it to McLean, short pass. He then fires it upfield over the halfway line, and that's going to fall kindly for Pavlovic, the centre half, who then plays the ball out to the left, and it's picked up on that far side by Kostic. Back to Pavlovic, short pass to him from Gudele. And now it's with Dusan Tadic, who's running down tight to the left touchline. Dribbles inside, pass on Bamadelli, then Doherty gets the ball through to Vlahovic inside the box, but Vlahovic has just shown poor control there to take that ball over the byline. A goal kick to Ireland.
Yeah, all very tight from a Serbian point of view, but you can see they're trying to kind of play little intricate passes into Mitrovic. Vlahovic running off Duffy on that particular occasion. Duffy matched him, used all his strength just to kind of shield him out over the line. Goal kick to Ireland, but you can see how high Serbia are squeezed right up. We've got three players squeezed right from the edge of our D, force us to kick long.
Kick out to Doherty, who heads it on, but he's given it away to Gudele, and then Bamadelli picked up possession, but he was tackled then by Mitrovic, claiming he was fouled, but the referee says no, it's a throw into Serbia. So the crowd now just quieting down after an early burst of energy after the national anthems. Ball thrown into Mitrovic, but he's tackled there, and the ball won back for Ireland by Alan Brown really well. Tries to send it forward then to Adamida, but it's a misplaced pass picked up at the back by Milenkovic. Then it's back to the goalkeeper Rajkovic. Rajkovic then back out to Milenkovic. Milenkovic made his competitive debut versus Ireland in the 2-2 draw in the World Cup qualifiers, the last campaign in 2016. Here's Serbia now breaking forward. Ball played out to the right hand side to Juritic, and it's back to Tadic just on the corner of the box on this near side. Floats the ball in towards the far post, looking for Mitrovic, but he floated it right over his teammate's head and out for a goal kick.
Just needs to be sharper in possession, Stephen, because Serbia aren't giving us a second on that particular occasion. I think it was Duffy just nodded the ball down to Cullen. Cullen immediately put it under pressure, but I think it might have been Tadic just coming through the back of him, nicking it, giving it to Mitrovic, and all of a sudden Serbia are on the break. It's very, very tight at the moment. I mean, Ireland not getting any opportunity to get any kind of a possession game going. Serbia really, really squeezing under pressure again.
Hendrick receiving the ball there from Egan. He turns away from two players. Brilliant play from the Newcastle United man. Plays across field to the right hand side on our far side to Bamadelli. Back inside to Hendrick, who receives the ball, turns away from his marker there, Kostic, then plays the ball out right to Matt Doherty. Doherty now up that right hand side. He's got Ida ahead of him. Comes back inside to Hendrick, about 25 yards from the Serbian goal. Back inside now to McGrath. Back to Cullen. Cullen picks out Doherty on the right hand side. Now it's to Adamida. Adamida just leaves that ball behind him, but he manages to hold on. He's been really tackled hard by Pavlovic, and there's a cheer from the Irish crowd as they praise Adamida's battling credentials there. But then there's a foul on Matt Doherty as he went in to receive the ball, and it looked like studs up there from Pavlovic. The booing from the Irish crowd will tell you they weren't happy with the challenge. Were you, Stewie?
To be fair, I think he's pulled out. Stephen, have a look at it again. I thought he could have given a free for Adamida, which I think he has, might have done. He was all over the back of Adamida, really, really pressing. Looked like it was a definite foul for me. Referee let it go, and then when it's come back to Doherty, you can see Pavlovic just kind of lunged, but just pulled his studs back at the last second. The referee is definitely given the free kick for the intent, but he's obviously saying that he's made no contact, and the player has pulled the studs away. No harm, but certainly a good opportunity for Ireland. It's a free kick in a very, very good area.
Yeah, it's about 10 yards up from the corner flag and almost bang on the touchline. Jamie McGrath is standing over this. This will be a right-footed free kick. There are about 6 Irish shirts in the box.
All the Serbians
McLean
are back
and Cullen
in the
on the edge. Yeah, all the Serbians in there. Ball floated up. Mitrovic, the first man there to head it away. Picked up by Hendrick, just on the edge of the centre circle. He turns away from the attentions of Jurtic, and then it's all the way back to Gavin Bazunu. Bazunu now back out to Hendrick. Hendrick picks out Bamidele out by the right touchline for Ireland on the far side, and then it's back to Bazunu on the edge of his box. Plays a brilliant ball out to James McLean over the halfway line. Good control by the Derry man. Back inside to Josh Cullen. Cullen then back out to McLean. Plays a ball up the left wing looking for Adamida, but the defender was out there to meet it with the header. Velkovic just nods that over the touchline. A throw in to Ireland, and a good bit of attacking play up the field there, started by Gavin Bazunu. So a throw in now to James McLean, who was heavily involved in that. Back to Cullen, and then all the way back to Egan on the halfway line, and he just cushions that ball inside then to Shane Duffy. The Irish skipper, of course, tonight, Shane Duffy, in place of Seamus Coleman, who's gone back to his club with an injury, and hopefully he's on the mend soon. Sadly, we did hear as well, Darragh O'Shea, just before kick-off, he's going to be out for 4 to 6 months with that horrendous ankle injury he picked up against Portugal. And all our best wishes to Darragh O'Shea in his recovery. Hopefully he's back in West Brom. Here's Ireland on the attack now. It's Matt Doherty outside. He plays the ball inside to Matt Doherty. He's trying to dribble in towards the goal, but it's blocked away as Matt Doherty took a shot. It was actually ball outside from Alan Brown, who takes a cross, and it's to Adamida, who tries to flick that ball towards the goal. It was a brilliant ball from Alan Brown, who was involved with Matt Doherty down that right hand side, but Ida just couldn't get the power on the header.
Well, the real catalyst of that move, I think, was Jeff Hendrick. A couple of minutes ago, wonderful bit of play when he was under pressure, managed to turn himself out of danger and get us going on the front foot. I think that's given him huge confidence, because he was the orchestrator of that move. It all ultimately led with Matt Doherty getting away down that right hand side. And you can see Serbia were certainly in trouble. They were scurrying back. It's good play from Ireland, worked 2 opportunities out of it, didn't hit the target. Certainly something to build on after a nervous first 10 minutes.
Here are Serbia on the attack now, and a ball from the right hand side from Milinkovic Savic, who has normally been playing on the left hand side for Serbia, but with the change they've made this evening and playing the 2 strikers, Milinkovic Savic is playing more as an inside right midfielder, just behind Dusan Tadic. And then on the left hand side you've got Kostic. So it's Kostic, Tadic and Milinkovic Savic as 3 attacking midfielders just behind the 2 strikers. Now the ball has been headed back towards the striker Vlahovic, but picked up by Egan, who heads it forward then to Jeff Hendrick, who, as Stuey has said, has had a very good opening 12 minutes here in the green jerseys. Here McLean now on the outside left, plays it inside to Hendrick, but then he's tackled from behind by Milinkovic Savic. A roar from the Irish crowd looking for a free kick for the foul on the Newcastle man. Well, the referee said it wasn't a foul. Ball sent forward. Here's John Egan now, just going to head that back to his goalkeeper, Gavin Bazunu.
Looked like he got no communication. McLean just giving a kind of a sloppy little 5-yard pass into him, and he was under pressure, like you said, from Milinkovic Savic. Just nicked it off him. But I think this is the best 10 minutes I've seen from Jeff Hendrick in probably 3 or 4 years, Steve, to be quite honest with you. Looks like he's really benefited maybe from the rest the other day. And he's been involved in everything good that Ireland has done in this first 12 minutes. And
he's just won a free kick, and it's all the more credit to the man, Stuey, as well, because he's only had 1 game for his club so far. That's this season. That was in the EFL Cup, a defeat at Burnley. He hasn't featured yet in the Premier League, and here he is now playing some really good stuff here at the Aviva Stadium.
He's loads of quality, Steve, and I think it's been more of a frustrating thing from everyone's point of view, that we know he's well capable of orchestrating that midfield. He's got loads of quality. One of the very few players we have that can really, create an opportunity out of nothing, or even score a goal out of nothing. So I'm delighted that he started so well, but only 13 minutes gone.
64 caps, Jeff Hendrick, and all that experience showing tonight. Here's Bamidele, not as many caps, but he's sent a pass through to Adamida there. It's been intercepted, so Serbia now will try and attack Ireland up past the halfway line, and the ball played forward here, and it was trying to seek out Dusan Tadic. Well read by John Egan to cut that out, but he couldn't control it. The ball just bounced away from him, falls for Jurtic, and now it's back with Tadic. Tadic now, and it's back to Jurtic, back inside to Tadic. The 2 players just exchanging pass on the right hand side, and then it's eventually given to the Sevilla midfielder Gudeli, And then the ball played forward to Tadic, can't control it, but it pops out kindly for Mitrovic, plays out wide to Juritic, and then he plays a cross in, headed away by Shane Duffy, lands at the feet of Goodelley. He has a shot from about 30 yards with his right boot, just took a touch first, then swung his right boot at it, but it was a handy enough save for the former Shamrock Rovers goalkeeper Gavin Bazunu.
Yeah, comfortable for Bazunu, wasn't it? Again, good approach play from Serbia, looking to expose this right hand side. Plenty of defenders in the box. It was Shane Duffy on that occasion heading it clear, and ends up a 30-yard strike from good edge straight into the hands of Bazunu. Just looking back to that earlier incident where Bomadelli was looking at Alameda, I think he was looking for Ida to come short to him, Stephen. You know, it's a difficult pass for Bomadelli to be able to play a pinpoint accurate pass in behind what is effectively two defenders in front of him, and that might be just they're the naiveties of a young striker. You know, he needs to know when to go in behind and when to drop in short.
Here's Tadic now on the turn, but he's played that ball straight to John Egan, who's just in the right place at the right time again. Here's Goodelley, and he's just dribbling past here. Alan Brown has a shot with his right boot on the edge of the D. It was a really excellent effort, you have to say, because he didn't get much chance to set himself there. He really had to dig that ball out, but he got some much stronger power on that than the previous shot, but again saved by Gavin Bazunu.
Another good example of this Serbian team that are so streetwise, Stephen. You can see robbing the ball off Ireland really high up the pitch, using their physical strength, you know, not diving in, not giving away silly free kicks. Goodelley on that opportunity, nice little side skip 30 yards out, just worked a couple of yards for him to get a shot away. Thought he should have done better. Certainly has a lot more quality to maybe put one either right or left side of Bazunu, but as he did a couple of minutes ago, just drove it straight at him. That's got to be a warning sign now. Obviously, when he gets on the ball, you need to get out and get tighter to him, and don't give him that space.
And he's only scored one goal for his country in 40 caps, and that was in a friendly match against Greece back in 2014. And even for his club, he wouldn't be known as a regular goal scorer. He's played in Holland, Portugal and China before signing with Sevilla a couple of seasons ago. But here's Ireland now in possession once more. Jeff Hendrick receiving the ball from Alan Brown, who's calling for it again, but instead he goes out to the left wing to James McLean, swings a good cross in for Alameda, but he's beaten in the air by the defender Pavlovic. Pops out for Jeff Hendrick, has a shot, and that wasn't a bad effort at all from Jeff Hendrick on the edge of the D, a little bit to the left of the goal. And it's just unfortunately a little bit to the left of the post.
Ireland's best move of the game by far. Cullen involved, Bomadelli, Alan Brown with a lovely turn in the centre of the pitch. All ends up getting McLean away down wide on this left hand side. Good delivery in for Alameda. It's headed clear. Jeff Hendrick getting himself onto the edge of the box using his physical strength. Puts it, I think it might have been Savage out of the way.
It was great control as well.
Pushed him out of the way. A bit of physicality, Stephen, and then the awareness to get up and hit it first time. Very unlucky.
Duffy heads the ball away. Jeff Hendrick chests it down. Plays it back now to McLean, who's on the halfway line on this near side on Ireland's left. Plays it back to Egan. Egan's had a good start to this game as well. He's just getting himself into the right positions to defend when Serbia are on the attack. We can see as well Ahmed Bomadelli's kind of pushing out almost as a right back and leaving Duffy and Egan there to mind the house when Ireland are in possession. Ball now with Hendrick. Plays it back to Egan. Hendrick takes it back once more, and then it's with Gavin Bazunu.
He's in the mood, Stephen. Jeff Hendrick, he's like a magnet now at the moment. You can just see it. He's just drifting around, always ending up in the right position. It's great to see it, really. Look, it's a different dynamic to the Azerbaijan game. I think we were expected to be the favourites against Azerbaijan and totally dominate play. I think there's respect here now for this Serbian team. We know the dangers that they have, so we have to pick and choose the moments where we look to move forward. And despite that first difficult 10 minutes, I think we've done that excellently in the last 7-8 minutes.
So, a throw into Serbia. Just to give you a rundown of the teams there in case you're late joining us, it's Rajkovic in goal for Serbia, Milenkovic, Veljkovic and Pavlovic, the back three. Then it's Juritic and Kostic as the wide men, with Milenkovic, Savic, Goodelley and Tadic in the middle, behind Vlahovic and Mitrovic as the two strikers for Serbia. The Irish team, it's Bazunu in goal, Bomadelli, Duffy and Egan as the three centre backs, Doherty and McLean as the right and left wide men. Then it's McGrath, Cullen and Hendrick as central midfielders, with Brown just playing off Adamida, the striker for the Republic of Ireland. The ball now with Serbia, it's Nikola Milenkovic, plays out wide to Juritic, and then it's with Tadic, spins on the edge of the box, plays into Vlahovic, and that's a really crucial interception from Andrew Bomadelli, because in was coming Alexander Mitrovic on the edge of the 6-yard box. He was about to pull the trigger, and that's a superb interception by the Norwich City centre-back.
Yeah, really good example of this Serbian quality. It might have been Vlahovic kind of spun himself in behind. It might have been Duffy into that Irish penalty area, and he's pulled one back. And Mitrovic all over it. Buffer on Bamadelli gets across last second to clear it. Good defending.
Corner kick for Serbia on this near side. For the left footer, Tadic takes all their set pieces. It'll be an in-swinger from this side. And he puts it in towards the near post, and it's flicked on, and it comes off the hand of Gambazunu and into the back of the net. It's a goal for Serbia. It's been headed in by Sergei Milinkovic-Savic into the far post from the near post area. That's a brilliant header from an excellent corner kick. Gambazunu got a glove to it. I thought he was going to push it out, but unfortunately for him, too much power in it, and it gets into the back of the net. It's Ireland 0, Serbia 1.
First things first, the delivery from Tadic. It looks like it was head height. I don't know who's in the hole for Ireland, but he's got to steal the yard there. Might have been Jeff Hendrick, and we've been full of praise for him, but just Savage just stole right in front of him, didn't he? I think if Hendrick needs to be on his toes, and once it's at a low height like that, good pace on it, he's just using the pace of the ball to get a flick on it. Bazuna does well to get a hand on it. He's pushing it up into the roof of the net.
I think it was Alan Brown, Stewie.
It was Alan Brown was in the hole.
Hendrick was behind him. Hendrick was behind him, but Brown went out to meet Milinkovic-Savic and just didn't get himself up there.
Yeah, look, there's an art in it. There's an art in being able to, be that man in the hole when you're being defender. And there's one key thing: you never let a man get in front of you. You always got to be ahead of the game. If it goes over your head, it goes over your head. That's fine. But with a ball like that from Tadic, it was always head height, loads of pace on it. Just switched off. Look, it's been a very good, positive opening half from Ireland. It's been a quality goal. You can hear the crowds going to get behind this Irish team because we can sense it's a different performance this evening from Ireland.
Long ball to James McLean, chests it down, and then he gives it to Jamie McGrath, then puts a cross in on the edge of the 6-yard box. It's cleared away, but only as far as McLean on this near side. Puts the ball in once more. It's headed away again by Milinkovic. A second clearance in quick succession from him. It's Ireland 0, Serbia 1. 21 minutes on the clock, and the goal was scored, just to clarify, in the 21st minute. Tadic corner kick to Milinkovic-Savic. It's his 4th international goal, the Lazio man. He got 3 goals last October, and they were against Norway in the Euro 2020 playoff semi-finals, and then against Turkey in the UEFA Nations League. So Ireland trading by a goal to nil with 22 minutes on the clock, but it has been a much better performance than the game against Azerbaijan last Saturday.
The disappointing thing, Stephen, is to concede from a set piece. Like that stuff should be done and dusted. Like there should be no excuse, and especially to be beaten by a low front post ball. That's what the man in the hole is for, and he hasn't reacted. So
ball played now out to the left hand side to Kostic, back inside to Tadic, and then it's back with Gudeli, and he floats the ball from left to right. Juritic cushions it down with his right boot, then to the edge of the box, and there was a little bit of intricate play there from Vlad. Tadic to Mitrovic. Mitrovic went to meet the ball. He passed from Tadic at the byline, and then there was a collision between himself and Duffy. Mitrovic down holding his ankle, and you can hear all the boos coming onto the pitch for the Fulham striker. I feel he might be making the most of this. Shane Duffy has picked himself back up off the ground. He looks okay, and the Serbia manager Dragan Stojkovic, he's not too happy about it.
But Shane Duffy's holding his knee as well. Looks like he really got a bang. It's a good move in Serbia. It's one of them where you kind of bang it into the front man with Mitrovic, and he's kind of stepped over because he knew that Tadic was behind him, looking for that little quick 1-2.
We were admiring the shiner on Mitrovic before kick-off, Stewie. It's quite the knock he got in their last match against Luxembourg. There were some reports that he might have a broken cheekbone. It's actually a broken nose that he's had, and he's not wearing a mask.
Yeah, he's quite swollen, isn't he? I mean, I don't know whether he's drugged up for the pain, but I would imagine that's extremely painful, even to get any kind of a bang on it. I'm not suggesting for a minute that Duffy should do that, but like he's got a black eye, and
you're watching too much WWE, Stewie, I think. The ball now back in play, and it's with Jamie McGrath. Plays it back to Duffy. Duffy now to Omar Bamadelli. Certainly not looking out of his depth here, making his first international start on home soil at all, of course. Ball now with Cullen, played across to John Egan, who's over the halfway line on the inside left channel to McLean. McLean dinks a ball down the left hand side to McGrath, just controls it, and then he's tackled well by Milinkovic. Milinkovic very experienced campaigner, 30 caps, winning his 31st tonight. The Fiorentina centre-back, of course, not playing with Nastasic, his other Fiorentina teammate, who normally would be in that back three alongside him. He's ruled out injured for this game tonight. The ball now is on the right-hand side. Matt Doherty comes back in to Omobamidele. Now it's with Cullen. Cullen back to Shane Duffy. Duffy to Omobamidele, and now to Matt Doherty, and he's under pressure there, tries to poke the ball through to Adamida, but it wasn't a good pass. In fact, it was Brown that just lost control of the ball. Now it's with Jamie McGrath. He's lashed onto an opportunistic goal here, and he's been taken down just on the edge of the box. Straight out with the yellow card is the referee from Spain, Senor Martinez, and it's for Jurtic for that really cynical challenge on Jamie McGrath, who was about to pull the trigger there on goal, I think.
Yeah, and he made it for himself as well. Jamie McGrath closing down the Serbian defender. I think he might have taken one on the face as well, but certainly got a block on the pass and was able to kind of get in behind the defender, and just as he was about to pull the trigger, Juricic just came in, one of them where he kind of clipped his heels. He's been booked for it all right. Ireland, very good opportunity now, 20 yards out, just to the left-hand side of the D. The likes of Jeff Hendrick having a look at it.
Well, Jeff Hendrick has the ball in his hands, and he's just sizing this one up. Standing there as well, John Egan.
I think he's the only one.
John Egan might fancy a knuckleball there, would he, Stewie? No, I think he's got to do the wise thing and stand over to the right-hand side. Hendrick has placed the ball. He's the only man standing over it. And, of course, he hasn't scored for Ireland in a while. The last goal against Gibraltar in the Euro 2020 campaign, March 2019. Will he have a shot at goal here, or will he try and float this one over to the back post?
We four on the wall, man on the ground, as is probably the norm now, lying on the ground.
The draft excluder, Stewie.
Yeah.
And there's three Irish players just to the right-hand side of the Serbian wall, the four-man wall, as we look down it. Hendrick has a shot, he tries to bend that in towards goal, but it's gathered safely by Predrag Rajkovic, the Serbian goalkeeper. Not a bad effort, but just not enough power and bend in that, Stewie.
Yeah, well, look, you've got to work the goalkeeper. You've got to hit the target, don't you? That's the very least you need to do from a free kick in that situation. How many times have you seen players just put them over the bar, put them wide, not even working the goalkeeper? I think what they had there, three Irish players just to the right-hand side of the wall. They all split. When it comes to bodies, you can always create difficulty. Probably didn't hit it as well as he might have wanted to, Hendrick, but Ireland again on the ascendancy, Ida down this right-hand side.
Yeah, Ida picks up a pass, a good pass from Alan Brown down the right-hand side. Did well to keep it in play as well as picking out his target man. And Ireland win a throw in, taken quickly there by Matt Doherty, and he receives the ball back from Ida, taking the throw. Now it's Hendrick, he's about 25 yards from goal. All of a sudden 2 men around, a good pass into Adam Ida, but that was read really well by the goalkeeper Rajkovic. Perhaps just a little bit too much on the pass, but a really clever idea there from Hendrick to try pick out Ida, who made the run into the box.
Another example, he's definitely in the mood. Like, it's a lovely little spot, a little slide rule, reverse pass in behind him, that little gap between the Serbian centre half and the left full. Ida read it, he just put a little bit too much on it. Hendrick might have played it just a touch too early, but it's a good indication of where his head is at, Stephen. He's really, you know, he's played extremely well in this first 27 minutes.
Ireland now with the ball. It's Brown, just plays the ball over his shoulder to Adam Ida, who just goes down, and he's given the ball away. Now Serbia are on the attack down this right-hand side. It's Jurtic, the man who's gone into the referee's notebook. Here's Tadic in space, about 25 yards from goal. Chips the ball into the box, and Mitrovic calls for offside here, and the flag stays down, but Ireland managed to clear it thanks to Matt Doherty up the pitch to the halfway line. Picked up by Pavlovic.
Egan had played him on side, Stephen. He was just tracking the runner in behind. I know it was a little dink over the top, and you would have expected the back four to step up, but Egan had just had to track the runner. I think it might have been Vlahovic. Ended up playing them on side.
Ball now played forward here by Milenkovic to Vlahovic. Under pressure there from John Egan, and then he plays it all the way back to Gudele, just coming out of the centre circle, and he's given that ball to Mitrovic. Gives it back to the Sevilla man, who's got this white headband around his long hair, a little bit like Jeff Hendrick as well, the two men looking similar. Tadic now plays the ball down the left hand side to Kostic. He's to the byline, tries to pull it back. Serbia is so dangerous from these positions, comes all the way outside the box to Milenkovic. The centre back has ballooned that ball to the right hand side of the Irish goal frame, much to the delight of the Irish supporters in the south stand, but that was another dangerous moment.
Quality really from Serbia. Lovely 1-2 passes playing in around the back of this Irish defence. Got in behind Doherty. once he's gotten into that byline, he's kind of pulled it back, and everyone had just gone beyond it. Even all the Irish defenders, you could see we were kind of scurrying. We looked like we were in a bit of trouble. Made its way out to Milenkovic, and he's absolutely just snatched at it, hasn't he? Just at the edge of the D, smashing it wide and over. Wild.
Off the outside of his right boot. Hendrick has the ball now for Ireland, about 25 yards from his own goal. Plays it out left to John Egan, who wasn't too happy to have to chase it out there. Worried obviously about leaving a gap there beside Shane Duffy. The ball back with Gavin Bazunu. Bazunu winning just his 7th cap tonight, and what a future that man has ahead of him.
Have a look at us now, even Stephen. Like, we're 20 yards out, we've got 3 or 4 Serbians squeezing us up high, and we're still playing football. And I think that's an indication of how we've changed as to where we wouldn't have done that 2 years ago to save our life. We would have just lumped everything forward. And these are the key things that maybe people need to kind of have a look at. We're so comfortable doing that. The likes of Shane Duffy, you wouldn't have seen him do this 2 years ago, you know, but it's been encouraged to do it, and we're getting better and better all the time at doing that.
Well, Ahmedeli tried to take down the right hand side, he gave it away, but now Serbia give it away to Ireland. Jamie McGrath, edge of the centre circle, out left to James McLean, floats the ball in towards the far post for Adamida, and he had Pavlovic there just blocking his path to the ball as he tried to get in there. And one thing I will say as well, Stewie, we've seen Adamida just going in the referee's notebook, not happy with that flying boot there, but I have to say the Serbian defender kind of stooped down low to try and head that away. But James McLean's deliveries tonight have been excellent in the first 30 minutes.
It was just a clever little ball, wasn't it? Just kind of played it in at sort of chest height in behind that Serbian defender. Adamida, I just felt lacked conviction, needed to really believe he could get there. Looked like he was hesitant for a few seconds and ends up sort of swinging at it with his boot rather than maybe going for a diving header.
It's all about anticipation for a striker, Stewie, isn't it?
Look,
you need to anticipate where the ball is going to go.
He's a young player, Stephen. Look, he's learning all the time. I mean, I was only just going to comment before this. I think he's coming for special attention from both these Serbian centre halves. They're clever, strong men. They're right at the back of him all the time, getting at him, harrying him all the time.
Now, Jamie McGrath's gone down under the tackle from Gudele there in that latest run of play, but he's back up on his feet. I'll tell you one thing about Adamida. He's only a young man, and he really is thriving on the battle against these two hard-nut Serbian centre-backs. Adamida, of course, 20 years of age. The Portugal match was his first appearance in a senior qualifier, and Ireland have given away possession this time through Josh Cullen, picked up by Serbia. It's with their captain now, Dusan Tadic, and he's looking for a free kick there. He stopped playing. Alan Brown should have went in there and tackled him. The referee said it was no free to play on. Alan Brown just standing off him.
Yeah, he's kind of gave away a loose pass, Alan Brown, with his header, looking to make amends for it, and he was snapping at Tadic, getting right up his backside, kicking at him a little bit. And you rightly said, Stephen, Whistler never didn't seem to go for it, so he should have kept playing.
Now they're trying to work the ball down the left hand side, Serbia. Pavlovic inside to Dusan Tadic, then across then to Milenkovic, pressed up high, the centre back outside to Juricic on the right hand side. His cross comes off. James McLean did well to block it, goes out for a corner kick on this near side on the Serbian right, the Irish left.
I think the focus from this Irish team, especially in this first half, is to really kind of shore up that whole central area. I think even McGrath, Alan Brown are, you know, always narrow, forcing to play wide down this right hand side or this left hand side. Now that means Juricic, right full, getting a little bit of joy, getting on the ball early, and he's getting opportunities to get the crosses in the box, but that seems to be the game plan. They'd rather deal with crosses than Serbia come through them centrally.
Here is Tadic on the near side, again with that left-footed corner. It's the fourth corner of the evening for Serbia. 33 minutes on the clock. It's still Ireland 0, Serbia 1. Milenkovic-Savic, the man to score the goal in the 20th minute from a corner kick like this one on this near side. Tadic hits it with his left boot towards the near post again, this time headed away by Shane Duffy, and good marking on Milenkovic-Savic, who went again to that near post.
Yeah, exact same delivery, absolutely identical area. On this occasion it was Duffy that was heading it away, but I'd still like to see the man in the hole maybe cover it. You can see there's a lot of movement in that box, and Serbia are pulling Irish players forward, back. It's a real danger.
Gudeli is right back in the centre half position now, obviously resulting from that corner kick, waiting for his teammates to get back there, looking through their team as well, Stewie. I think they've got 8 men who are 6 foot plus. They've got Milenkovic 6'5", Veljkovic 6'2", 6 foot for Juricic on the wing, Kostic another 6 footer on the wing, Gudeli 6'1", and then the three men up front, Milinkovic, Savic, Mitrovic and Vlahovic, all 6'3", so a real danger for corner kicks.
And mobile, Stephen, you know, it's a bit like having, like, you know 6 or 7 Shane Duffys, but mobile, able to get around the pitch. They're a strong physical side, Serbia, streetwise, as we mentioned that before. They know how to win games, they know how to win tackles, have a little bit of grit about them, a little bit of nastiness as well when it needs to be. So you got to match that. That's the one thing you have to do. You have to match that. Well capable of doing that.
Ball now, Serbia trying to work it down the right hand side, but getting over Vlahovic to head it out for a throw in was John Egan. So throw in to Serbia, about 25 yards up from the halfway line inside the Irish half. Tadic just goes out to Milenkovic to try and get that ball, and it looked like a foul throw right from Milenkovic, but referee says no. Vlahovic now has the ball, he's down near the corner flag, plays it back to Juricic. Juricic now back to Milenkovic, and they're still about just 22 yards from the Irish goal. Milenkovic once more back into the central midfield area to Gudeli, who really is the man that pulls the strings in that central midfield area. Plays it outside now to Pavlovic, the centre back, on a marauding run forward. Now to Kostic, tries to put a cross in, it comes off the back of Matt Doherty's heel, and it goes out for a throw in this time to Serbia on the far side.
You mentioned Gudeli there, Stephen, just doesn't move, does he? But in a good way. You know, he's clever, lets players run around him, and just always available and always central.
Here's Matt Doherty up the right wing, having won the ball back from the Serbia throw in. Adamida has the ball, plays it back now to Cullen from the halfway line. Cullen just about 5 yards inside his own half, then plays the ball across field to Egan. Egan, short pass to Duffy, and now to Amabamideli. The three centre backs in their right positions here, just in front of the halfway line in their own half. Egan has it back once more, gives it to McLean on the left touch line, under pressure there from Juricic.
The problem is there, Egan just sort of, you know, delaying all the time, and instead of giving McLean a pass where he's got 5 or 10 yards of space, he's giving McLean a ball where there's someone right up his backside and putting him under pressure.
The cheers you heard were for the 19-year-old Irish goalkeeper Gavin Bazunu, showing a bit of trickery in the box with his feet just to get the ball around Mitrovic. And now Ireland on the attack once more. Hendrick over the halfway line, out left to McLean. McLean's got a run from McGrath to look for, but he goes to the far post looking for Alan Brown, but Pavlovic got up there with his goalkeeper to flick that ball on. It was tantalisingly close to the man who scored the goal in Belgrade to open the scoring in the last game.
So Matt Doherty on that occasion wanted to open his leg, lovely surge and run from that right hand side, cutting across, releasing Hendrick out again to McLean. That's worked quite well so far in this game. 3 or 4 occasions where those three players have kind of worked the ball out left, and we're catching Serbia a little bit on the break, on the back foot. That occasion McLean just kind of looked at the goalkeeper was going to clash with his own defender. I think Alan Brown might have thought that was going to happen, kind of stood awaiting it a little bit. If he had have expected it, he could have had a header into an empty net. But
this, of course, the 7th meeting of these two sides, and Ireland have yet to beat Serbia. Ireland played them in the last World Cup qualifiers, drew 2-2 in Belgrade, and then beaten in Dublin by a goal to nil. Alexander Kolarov, the man who scored the goal. Serbia had a man sent off in that game as well, and here they are in the attack. Vlahovic is just trying to play a pass forward. It's blocked away by Duffy. He's got the ball once more. Vlahovic goes back to Pavlovic. Now it's Gudeli. Gudeli, good pass forward, but he's given away to Amabamideli, who read that really well to get around Tadic and win the ball back for Ireland. It's now been given away though by Jamie McGrath. He tried to pick out Jeff Hendrick, so Serbia have it once more. Juricic on the right wing, plays it inside to Vlahovic, back to Tadic. Tadic fires it out to the left hand side to Kostic, and Kostic back inside to Gudeli. When they want to just calm things down, they always just go back to Gudeli, and then the Serbian players get back into their attacking positions. It's now with Milenkovic.
And then they start recycling again. It's good sides. It's experience really more than anything, Steve. It's something that we just don't have at the moment.
Pavlovic in a bit of space here, the centre half. I think he's getting a bit of a nosebleed, but he's tried to cross that ball in. It's blocked away by Shane Duffy. And now it's with the Serbian midfielder Milinkovic-Savic, the goal scorer, is just remonstrating with some of his teammates there. Mitrovic has a shot. There was a snapshot on the volley from about 20 yards, and what a magnificent save from Bazunu to push that away to his right hand side. It was a superb effort from the Fulham striker, just on the edge of the box. Excellent save, Gavin Bazunu.
This is all about Veljkovic, you know, playing up top. I think the ball might have been just lobbed into from Pavlovic in the central area. Veljkovic has got bodies around him, but he's big and strong. He just uses his chest just to lay it off for Mitrovic, who's coming in. Bazunu up to the task. It's a good strike from Mitrovic on target. Bazunu just getting two strong hands there, pushing it wide.
Corner kick the far side. Tadic to take this. A left-footed outswinger from the Ajax man towards the centre of the box, punched away very well by Bazunu. Drops just inside the box. Cullen hooks that away with his left boot. The man whose family hailed from Leitrim has been a regular fixture in the Irish midfield, and a safe pair of boots in there as well. Of course, couldn't break into that West Ham team and had to move off to Anderlecht before last season started, and he's forging a good career for himself there under Vincent Kompany, the former Manchester City skipper who's in charge of Anderlecht. Here's Milinkovic outside now to Juritic. Juritic comes inside, lays it off then for Milinkovic-Savic. Back to Gudele. Now it's with Kostic on the far side of the field, about 10 yards in from the touchline. Back to Gudele. Gudele, good side-footed pass out to Milinkovic. Milinkovic, the centre back of that back three on the right hand side, likes to get really far forward, as does this man Pavlovic now, who's received the ball on the left hand side. Bit of the Sheffield Uniteds about this Serbia team as they go back now to Milinkovic-Savic. He plays it outside to Juritic on the right wing. He comes inside, watched here by James McLean, gets around to the byline, pulls the ball back. Good header away by Matt Doherty, picked up on the edge of the box by Hendrick. This is dangerous stuff by Ireland. Given to Jamie McGrath, he dribbles out of the box, then clears it away, looking for Adamida, but getting there before him was Milos Veljkovic, the man who came in to start tonight, who hasn't had too many touches of the ball, you'd have to say. Ball now with the goalkeeper Rajkovic, and then played forward to Gudele. Chance for Serbia now to try and attack the Irish goal once more. 40 minutes on the clock. It's still Ireland 0, Serbia 1. The goal coming in the 20th minute of this Group A World Cup qualifier, scored by the Lazio midfielder Milinkovic-Savic.
Yeah, we're in that moment of the game, you know, that 5 minutes before half-time, Stephen, when, you know, that psychologically, or you can just switch off and you'll get punished. You'll definitely get punished by this Serbian team. We're certainly asking questions, so you need to just keep focused. Communication needs to be good.
Ball over the top here from Milinkovic-Savic, picked up by Dusan Tadic in the box near the 6-yard area. He spins away from McLean, then sets up Juritic on the edge of the box. His shot blocked away by a diving Shane Duffy, tumbles up in the air then, and then it's outside, and it's a shot there from the left boot of Filip Kostic. He's well able to find the net, but that one is straight into the breadbasket of Gavin Bazunu.
Yeah, Tadic's just so dangerous, isn't he? He kind of tends to drift in and out of the game, drifts forward, drifts back. He kind of stole 10 yards on Cullen on that occasion, found himself in the box with so much space. And Ireland scurrying back just to kind of get bodies in front of block shots, and a little bit scrappy, but again another strike from distance straight into the hands of Bazunu.
Tadic was the man who got all 3 assists in the match against Ireland in March in Belgrade. He's been the permanent captain of his country since the end of the Nations League campaign last October, and is of course the captain of Ajax. A superb player. He really is a joy to watch.
He has that license, doesn't he, Steve? And he kind of drifts around, finds himself, you know, gets into little pockets, spins off. Always very difficult to mark.
Long ball forward from Hendrick to Ida, and that's well read though by Veljkovic. Headed away, but McLean makes trouble there for Serbia, wins the ball back for Ireland, plays out to the right hand side to Doherty. Alan Brown was injured in the process there, that's why the roars went up from the Irish crowd. Now Hendrick tried to feed that ball through to Doherty from about 22 yards out. Instead it's blocked away. Cullen then picks up the ball, he tries to play it in. It comes off the hand of the Filip Kostic, who would come back to help out with his defence. About 25 yards from goal, he goes up in the air, raises his hand and blocks the Josh Cullen ball. It's going to be a free kick to Ireland in a very good position here.
Another good example of when Ireland get an opportunity to move forward, they're certainly doing so with intent. Again, Hendrick involved with Doherty. Doherty played a little pass into Hendrick at pace, and you can see what he was trying to do, just kind of increase the sprint in behind that back four, look for a little dink over the top. Hendrick tried it but got blocked down, and ultimately led to a free kick. But again, this is a good opportunity for Ireland. Have a look at Serbia. I mean, the free kick is 35 yards out, I'd say just under the 40-yard line, and Serbia are holding a high line, probably 22, 23 yards up.
So the free kick, standing over it, is McGrath.
Just thinking in low, I'd say. Just a little gap there between the man and only one man on the wall.
5 green shirts on the edge of the box, and it's just in towards John Egan. It's headed down though by Pavlovic, and eventually hooked away by the man who handled the ball. Kostic goes up in the air, headed down by McGrath. He was looking for a green shirt, but he's picked out a white one, and it's Vlahovic. Vlahovic now starting the counter-attack for Serbia. It's with Jurtic. He's got support on the outside from Mitrovic, who plays the ball. He tries a slide rule ball into Vlahovic, but it's intercepted by Ahmed Babadeli. Hendrick picks up the loose one, knocks it forward looking for Ida, and it's just cushioned down from the sky by Veljkovic to his teammate Milinkovic. Savic, Adam Ida just struggling to get onto those long balls.
Just feel on that, in that particular occasion, a more experienced centre forward, Stephen, would have drifted out to this left hand side, because you could see when it's broken down from that Serbian break, Hendrick's got very little time to react. He's on this left hand side of the pitch. He can only put it down that left hand side. So if Ida is drifting out in front, he's picking that up and he's holding the play for us. But again, just a very good example of the two Serbian centre halves who kind of manage them quite well. Like, you know, I think this is probably, from Ida's point of view, as good as you get in terms of defenders he's come up against, and they look experienced. They've always been in his face. They've been in his back, squeezing him, forcing him into mistakes. So he's looked a little bit exposed at times, but he's never stopped running, in fairness to the kid.
Well, yeah, 30 caps for Milinkovic. He's got an experienced campaigner with Fiorentina. Veljkovic plays in the Bundesliga too, but had 129 appearances in the German top flight with Werder Bremen before they got relegated. He's also a former player with Tottenham, Middlesbrough and Charlton Athletic. He's got 2 Premier League appearances with Tottenham back in 2014. And Strahinja Pavlovic, a Monaco centre-back, has quite a bit of experience in the French top flight. Left-footed centre-back, playing in his first World Cup campaign. But the 3 centre-backs really are hardy, tough defenders, and it's a real battle for Adam Ida up there in his own. Serbia now in possession, trying to make headway down this left-hand side. Brown just watching Pavlovic, and then a ball inside from Kostic as it gets away from Tadic, but Mitrovic drops deep to pick it up, then plays it back to Gudele. Out now to Jurtic on the right-hand side, tries to slip a ball into Mitrovic, comes to the byline to meet it. He was shepherded well though by Shane Duffy, got the block in, and Jeff Hendrick comes out, wins the ball, and really cleverly wins a free kick there for Ireland. But there we have it, the half-time whistle has been blown by Spanish referee Jose Martinez. Keith Andrews and Stephen Kenny quick up out of their seats and making their way down the tunnel, and they have a fair bit to talk about at this half-time break. It hasn't been a bad old performance by Ireland. They came out, did very well after a good burst from Serbia in the opening 5 minutes, but Ireland then started to contain them and then to build up a really good play over the next 10 minutes. But unfortunately for them, Serbia came up with the goal in the 20th minute. It came from the Lazio midfielder Milinkovic Savic, and that gave them a 1-0 lead, which it still is going in at the half-time break. We'll be back shortly for all the half-time analysis. Myself, Stephen Doyle, alongside Stuey Byrne, for this live exclusive commentary on Off the Ball. It is Ireland 0, Serbia 1 at half-time.
Off the Ball on News Talk. Lunchtime Live.
The direct provision centres is quite hard for families, especially when you have to spend a very long time there. Like my family spent 10 years there. We would have to oblige to rules of coming in to the centre at a certain time, having your food at a certain time. You had no option. You couldn't go to work. So you imagine my mom looking at her children growing up, and she would be like, I'd love to do this for them, but you can't.
Lunchtime Live with Andrea Gilligan.
Brought to you by Avant Money.
Weekdays from midday on News Talk.
Your to-do list. It's always pretty chock-a-block. There's the things from yesterday you never got to yesterday, and the things for today you'll probably put off till tomorrow. But don't put off saving on your home energy. Go direct to Energia and switch to Energia's cheapest dual fuel bundle. For the biggest savings, the thing to do is to always go direct. Visit energia.ie. Energia, the power behind your savings. EAB €1,665 based on average annual usage. 12-month contract, discounted unit rates, standing charge, PSO levy and carbon tax, T's and C's and early termination fee apply. Valid from July 2021 and subject to change. Verification and T's and C's at energia.ie/EAB.
Fancy winning a home worth €300,000? Then check out winthishouse.ie. Imagine living mortgage-free in the seaside village of Dunmore East, County Waterford. Forever home or holiday home, you decide. Enter our online competition now from just €23. Search winthishouse.ie powered by Raffle or enter on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. T's and C's apply, but hurry. Winner announced September 22nd. winthishouse.ie.
Business owners, protect your customers and staff with Clean Air. Our portable air and surface sanitisation system eliminates 99.9% of COVID-19 and other airborne and surface viruses in the workplace. Protect your customers and staff with Sanity System. Available to buy or rent from €95 per month. To find out more, visit sanitysystem.ie.
My bio. Fisherman interested in real genuine things like catching beautiful fish, long walks on the boat, organising ideas on file, and likes getting caught in the Atlantic Sea rain. Huh, nobody in your area.
Tasty, protein-packed fish fillets you're sure to love. Donegal Catch. We're all about the fish.
Let's celebrate getting closer to the sports we all love with Sky VIP and the Ryder Cup. Closer to your friends with a €24 Uber Eats voucher to bring the clubhouse to your living room. And closer to the atmosphere with a spectacular Ryder Cup viewing party at Photo House. Everyone has a chance to win with Sky VIP. Visit the My Sky app and get involved. 18 plus. Ticket applicants entered into ballot. See sky.com/VIP terms. Closing dates vary. See Sky VIP section of My Sky app.
Want to know more about elite performance in sport? Gain a degree in sports psychology or a master's in sports performance analysis through weekend blended learning with Portobello Institute. Customise your learning journey between on-site, online and catching up later with a recorded session. You choose your time to study. Attend our virtual open sessions or talk to an expert to learn more about our degree and master's courses in sports psychology and performance analysis. Visit portobelloinstitute.com for details.
Harvey Norman, Ireland's largest retailer of appliances, technology, furniture and bedding, are looking for experienced retail talent to join our winning team. With full and part-time positions available in sales, cashiering, warehousing, admin and more across our 15 stores nationwide. Ranked as one of Ireland's best workplaces, Harvey Norman offer great opportunities, benefits and pay packages. If you're ready to join an exciting brand and take on a new challenge, then we want to hear from you. Send your CV to jobs@ie.harveynorman.com.
Off the ball. This is News Talk.
For the left footer, Tadic takes all their set pieces. It'll be an in-swinger from this side. And he puts it in towards the near post and it's flicked on and it comes off the hand of Gambazunu and into the back of the net. It's a goal for Serbia. It's been headed in by Sergej Milinkovic-Savic into the far post from the near post area. That's a brilliant header from an excellent corner kick. Gambazunu got a glove to it. I thought he was going to push it out, but unfortunately for him, too much power in it, and it gets into the back of the net. It's Ireland 0, Serbia 1. You are very welcome back to Off the Ball's live coverage of this Group A World Cup qualifier between the Republic of Ireland and Serbia. And as you heard there, Ireland trailing by a goal to 0. But never mind the scoreline, the performance has been pretty good, Stewie. We'll look at the positives in a moment, but first off, the goal. Set-piece defending hasn't been really great, but especially for that goal there. The corner kick from Dusan Tadic, and then coming in at the near post was the man who scored it, Milinkovic-Savic.
Yeah, I think what they've proven so far, Serbia, is that they've got quality from set pieces, you know, and quality when they work the ball wide. We've had to deal with various different crosses, and we had done so, especially when the delivery has been into that penalty area, because effectively we packed out the area. Now, what's happened for the goal is that Tadic, whether he meant it or not, and quite honestly, I think he might have meant it, he's kind of pinged one in at pace, shoulder height into that front post area, and Savic has stole a yard on the man on the front post. I think it was, you mentioned it was Alan Brown. He's just nicked in front of him, and he's got that little flick header, hasn't he, directed towards the far post. And Bazunu got a strong hand to it, but he's ended up kind of pushing it straight up into the roof of the net, and you have to kind of wonder, that's the reason why you have a man in the post, Stephen. He has to be looking he can't be flat. He has to be on the half turn. He has to be always looking over his shoulder to see who's trying to get in front of him. And I think if Brown is doing that, he'll see the run of Savage, and he'll be able to get in front, and he'll be heading that ball away. That's the only real negative I would have. Serbia, very, very good side. You can see the quality that they have. I think they're as good as any side I've seen come here. Yeah. Loads of quality, loads of experience, streetwise, strong.
Their attacking players are brilliant. Like, they've got Kostic on the left-hand side, plays for Eintracht Frankfurt, superb player. Tadic plays for Ajax, another brilliant player. He's a magician, Tadic, what he can do with the ball. And then the two strikers, Mitrovic, proven striker alongside Vlahovic, a man who I think is going to be one of the top strikers in Europe over the next decade.
I just took a few minutes to have a look at Mitrovic, Tadic, and Veljkovic, right? The three central forward players for Serbia. The last 5 minutes, having a look at them, movement's unbelievable. They're moving constantly in tandem, the three of them together. There's never one up top or never two up top, but one's always dropping in, and they're constant. They never stay in one position for more than a couple of seconds. If they're not getting the ball, they're getting out, and the next person is coming in to fill it. And I think what that's done, that's given a real headache for the back three of Ireland. I think we've marshalled it quite well, but at times they've looked really dangerous. And the difficulty for Ireland is that Cullen and Hendrick have to almost cover for the back three, and they have to kind of fill those spaces and make it difficult. Make it difficult for Serbia, and it means that Gudeli is kind of getting a bit of a freedom because he's been left alone a little bit. You're looking down for the likes of maybe an Alan Brown or a Jamie McGrath, depending on what side Gudeli's on. Just drop in and be a nuisance and hang around them. Yeah, exactly.
Now, a couple of positive things before we go to the break as well. Bazulu's been excellent. Bamidele has looked, totally natural in there. A man who's got more than the second cap he's winning tonight. And then, of course, Jeff Hendrick and James McLean, two of the old-timers who've put in good performances in this first half as well. Yeah, I agree. I think Hendrick's been excellent. And it all came from his first touch in the game, where he received the ball under pressure, 20 yards out, had to kind of shimmy, had to turn, had to do a little spin to lose his marker, and then check inside another tackle that was coming in, and all of a sudden it gave him a burst of confidence, and he's literally been a magnet to the ball ever since. I think he's been excellent. He's freed up Cullen a little bit. Cullen again hasn't seen much of the ball, but anything he has done has been really, really neat and tidy. And I'm beginning to really like that partnership of Cullen and Hendrick, I have to say, when you consider the Portuguese game and the first 45 minutes of what we've seen so far. When we've had opportunities to break, Stephen, I think we've done it quite well. We've worked ourselves, McLean wide down this left-hand side. We've managed to get him away. Just maybe we lack that real quality when we need it. Deliveries into the box. Adamida has been, I think he's been marshalled well, to be quite honest. Adamida, he's really come up against, some quality back four. Paklovic and Milenkovic has kind of marshalled him very well. Well, there's certainly some talent on the Irish bench as well that could come on in the second half. It remains to be seen how the second half goes. It's been a good first half performance from the Irish team, despite the scoreline. Milinkovic-Savic scoring the 20th minute. Serbia looking to qualify for their second World Cup in a row, first time back-to-back since becoming an independent nation. Can Ireland spoil the party? We shall find out very shortly. All the live second half action of Ireland versus Serbia in the World Cup qualifiers coming up next on Off the Ball.
Off the Ball on News Talk.
Interested in sports therapy? With direct paths to physiotherapy, Portobello Institute offers full-time and weekend blended learning honours degrees in sports therapy. Customise your learning journey between on-site, online and catching up later with a recorded session. You choose your time to study, attend our virtual open sessions or talk to an expert to explore your opportunities when you hold a degree in sports therapy. Visit portobelloinstitute.com for details.
Is your car insurance due for renewal? At Innovo Insurance, you can save up to 25% off on your car insurance. Call Innovo Insurance now on 0818 222 400. Don't renew until you call Innovo Insurance. Innovo Insurance Limited, trading as Innovo Insurance, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. Minimum premium of €344 applies. Acceptance criteria and terms and conditions apply.
That feeling.
is back. Live horse racing has returned, which means you can be trackside again at the Curragh and newly redeveloped Leopardstown for Longines Irish Champions Weekend, September 11th and 12th, featuring top-class racing, including the final classic of the Irish flat season. Tickets are on sale now. To get yours and for more details on what to expect on race day, visit irishchampionsweekend.ie. Horse Racing Ireland, for every racing moment.
That's the sound of Jack, who's just figured out what he paid for the last 2 years on his mobile network plan. Mobile networks charge over the odds when tying you into their long, expensive contracts. Why pay more? Save by going SIM-free with Harvey Norman and choose your own network plan. We have the largest range of SIM-free phones in Ireland, from top brands like Apple, Samsung, Nokia and many more. Harvey Norman, your SIM-free phone specialist. We won't be beaten on price, range or service.
Going shore angling? Don't be the one that got away. With fishing alone, with being too close to the edge when that wave hit, with not wearing a life jacket. Never risk yourself for a fish. This is Water Safety Ireland. Better safe than sorry. For angling advice, visit watersafety.ie. Supported by the Government of Ireland.
Experience extraordinary with Galway International Arts Festival this autumn. Indoors and outdoors, in person and online, across Galway city and county. The very best of Irish and international culture. See giaf.ie for full programme details and unmissable dates for your diary. Supported by the Arts Council, Fáilte Ireland, Galway 2020, NUI Galway and Flowgas.
Off the ball. This is News Talk.
You are very welcome back to the Aviva Stadium in a very mild Dublin city, it has to be said. Stephen Doyle here alongside Stuey Byrne for this live World Cup qualifier action in Group A. It's Ireland trailing Serbia by 1-0 after a very quiet first half from the Irish team, and it must be said we're just looking out at some of the substitutes, well, all the substitutes warming up for Ireland, and if there are any changes to be made by Stephen Kenny in the second half, I'm sure he will, Stuey. What kind of players are you looking at?
I think Robinson is a huge out, isn't he? I mean, obviously because he you know, look, he's the one player in the Irish team probably at the moment in goal scoring form, playing regularly. You feel that he certainly has something to offer when he comes on the pitch. I think if changes do come, I would see it probably coming in the central area, especially in that midfield area, just to kind of maybe shore up that wave of Serbian attack. I think you've got loads of options there. You've got Malumbi, you've got Hardy Arthur. You know, they can all, even Conor Hurahan, they can kind of sit in there.
Could I say as well, Stuey, maybe Troy Parrott, if he was to come on, and perhaps to play in his more favourite position, more central position, because he really was lost on the right wing against Azerbaijan.
Yeah, at the moment it's certainly looking like Adamida, you know, having a difficult task this evening, only purely because of the experience and what he's up against. He's been quite isolated in that first half because, you know, Jamie McGrath and Brown have had to drop deep, but certainly Parrott can give you that, can give you an option for Ida in that central area, and I think he probably would look a little bit more comfortable there as well.
Yeah, well, the two teams are coming down the tunnel, and as I mentioned, it is quite a mild evening. I think it's around 14-15 degrees. I'm quite thankful for that because I set off earlier on today, Stuey, lovely and sunny. It was about 20 odd degrees, very humid. And I was so happy, and I just went out in a t-shirt and I forgot to bring a jacket.
It's a nice red retro Adidas short.
I'm wearing the Serbian colours as well.
It's reminiscent of the old USSR away jersey. I don't remember that one that had the CCP written on it. I'd say Richie McCormick would like it. Well, he'd be one of them.
He sure would, yeah. Absolute a man for the old Adidas.
Crowder in good form. I think we're getting selfies with Joey's fans and everything behind us at the moment. So.
Well, the two sides are out, so hopefully the temperature doesn't drop too much over the next 45 minutes. But we'd be more than happy to see the temperature rising out on that park, where the Irish team are just limbering up for this second half action. The man who played a brilliant role in the first half, Jeff Hendrick, standing over the ball. Ireland wearing their home strip of green shirts, white shorts and green socks, and they will play from left to right as we look out at the Aviva Stadium, playing into that south stand where all the singing section of the Green Army like to take their place now, and you'd have to credit them. They provide a brilliant atmosphere for these two games we've had back with supporters watching this Irish team. The game back underway, Serbia wearing their white shirts, navy shorts and white socks away strip, and Ireland now putting them under pressure at the back. Hendrick chasing down Milenkovic, but the ball has been popped out then to Jurcic. on the right hand side. He makes strides down there with James McLean shadowing him, and also behind him was Jamie McGrath, just popped that ball over the touchline for a throw in to Serbia.
Yeah, it's got to do a bit of a shift this evening, Jamie McGrath, just because of that, just the role and the position he's been asked to play left of that front three. But I think his brief is really to kind of offer a defensive cover for James McLean. He's had to do it for that whole first half, as has Alan Brown on the right hand side. So certainly we spoke about opportunities to make changes. I think those two as well would be foremost in Stephen Kenny's mind, just purely because of the legs. I'm sure exhaustion.
Well, the teams are unchanged for the second half. So just to give you the two starting sides, it's Bazunu in goal for Ireland, Bamadelli, Duffy and Egan as the back three. Then it's Doherty right wing back, James McLean left wing back, and then it's Hendrick, Cullen and McGrath as the central midfielders, along with Alan Brown just playing off Adam Ida, the central striker for Ireland. The Serbian team, it's Rajkovic in goal, Milenkovic, Velkovic and Pavlovic, the back three. Ball over the top here for Mitrovic to try and run onto. It's actually Jurtic who's shaking that down. It's gathered safely by Bazunu. So in front of the back three then it's Jurtic as the right wing back, Kostic left wing back, and then it's Gudeli playing as the central midfield anchor, Milinkovic, Savic and Tadic playing off the strikers, Mitrovic and Valovic. Here's Adam Ida just texting the ball in, down in the box, across here from Matt Doherty, but Serbia managed to clear their lines. John Egan's nodded that ball forward to Jeff Hendrick. He heads it then to Josh Cullen. Good ball from the right boot of Cullen outside to Matt Doherty, who's come infield. Plays it off to Cullen, puts a deep cross in there looking for Ida. It went past Alan Brown, who put a dummy in there, and it's cleared away by the centre back Velkovic.
That's a difference, Stephen, just that quality when it comes back to Cullen. It's not a difficult pass just to kind of hit that penalty area, you know, when you're getting, you've got to beat the first man, and he's low with his cross and his delivery, and it's get cleared too easy.
Ireland's still in possession though, and they're putting pressure on Serbia here. James McLean puts another good cross in. It's skidded off Milenkovic. Looked like it might come for Brown. Adam Ida was in there as well, but the flag is up. It is an offside call by the assistant referee. But again, another very good ball in from James McLean. He's got a lot of criticism during the week for his deliveries against Azerbaijan on Saturday, but they've been a whole lot better today.
Yeah, he's getting himself into those areas, and I mean, in that particular occasion, it was more of a cut-back cross than it was anything else, and it's ended up all the Serbian defenders have kind of gone beyond it, and it's come back. I think it might have been Alan Brown. Ida had ran past it and found himself in an offside position once it's come into him, but it's a good positive start from Ireland.
Certainly is for this second half. James McLean, of course, now plying his trade with Wigan Athletic, his old club, where he signed from Stoke City in the summer. He scored one goal for them already in League One, and he will be coming up against the likes of Gavin Bazunu playing for Portsmouth, and Troy Parrott, of course, who's on loan with MK Dons from Tottenham Hotspur. Ball has been clipped out to the left hand side to McLean from John Egan. Chests it down, then puts another good cross in. Brown with the header, but he was just kind of diving out to his left hand side. He couldn't really get good direction on the header because he was off balance, and it comes out in the far side, picked up by Kostic. He's marauding down the left wing, tries to play the ball infield, but it's blocked away. I think it was Josh Cullen. Ball then picked up by Bamadelli, back to Bazunu. He fires it forward to, looking for Alan Brown, who was up there for it with Pavlovic, who went down very easy there. Brown was just handing him off there with his left hand. Free kick, fair enough, but certainly didn't deserve a yellow card.
Two of them being at it to start the second half. There's been little bits here and there. Pavlovic very high with his arms on Alan Brown a few minutes ago, and on that particular occasion when the delivery came in for Alan Brown, I think Pavlovic might have just leaned into him. Good defenders will do that, and
the hand was in his face, but it, you know, it wasn't really deliberately.
No, it's not in it. But Pavlovic is obviously playing up to it. No
harm,
one thing, Stewie, a little bit of needle, Steve. You know, Stephen, it's part of the game. You know, like we spoke at half time about these Serbian lads. Look, they're cocky, they're confident fellas. There's historical reasons for that, but like, no reason why we can't get up in their face a little bit.
Here's Stewie. You know Alan Brown's from Cork.
Well,
they're cocky and confident down there as well.
Yeah, get in his face and say, not tonight, lad.
He's a tough man as well. He's well able to handle himself, Alan Brown, the Preston North End midfielder. Here's McLean now, forward to Hendrick on the edge of the centre circle in his own half. He's lost his balance, fallen over. Serbia can't dig it out though. Eventually it was dug out by Jamie McGrath, but then he fell over and the ball spills out for Gudeli. Gudeli plays it forward to Tadic, just in the central area, about 20 yards from the Irish goal, but he's been muscled off it here by John Egan, I should say, plays out left then to Kostic. His cross is blocked by Matt Doherty. Falls for Brown. Brown now striding away from the Irish goal. Has support from Doherty on the outside. Then a good pass in from Doherty back to Brown. Then tries to pick out his fellow Corkman, Adam Ida, and the ball goes over for a throw in.
Didn't give him the option, Stephen. That's again, it's just another example from media. You can see that Doherty and Brown, they're in trouble. They're under pressure. It's tight. The only out ball that Alan Brown has is to play it into that area, and that's where Adam Ida, he needs to see that. He needs to, get his mate out of trouble. Just a little bit slow to react to it.
Gudeli now to Pavlovic.
Certainly signs from Ireland, Stephen, that they're up for a little bit of a fight here. They're going to scrap their way if they have to. Still playing good football when they get the opportunity, but at times it's going to be a scrap.
Such a lovely night here in Dublin as the Green Army strikes up, chanting, "Come on, you boys in green." There's a lovely mist just hanging over the stadium here in Dublin. A bit like when you used to see the old Serie A matches back in the late 90s. It's a little bit smoky and misty over the pitch as we see Josh Cullen battling away for the ball here, moving towards the edge of the box. Shane Duffy takes control here, plays out left to James McLean, who's in a very deep position. He's got a lot of ground to cover to get towards the Serbian half of the pitch. Instead he goes back to John Egan and then moves further towards the halfway line himself. Ball played across to Oma Bamadeli. He's moving towards the halfway line. Instead goes out to Matt Doherty. Doherty now all the way back to Shane Duffy. What a great start to the season he's had after such a nightmare at Celtic. His dream move last season didn't come off well, but he's been back to his best with Brighton. 3 Premier League appearances, 2 man of the match appearances and a goal. Shane Duffy really does look happy and enjoying his football once again. There's a throw in now for Ireland. 52 minutes on the clock. They're trailing by a goal to nil. Milinkovic-Savic scoring the opener after 20 minutes. But Ireland have got off to a good start in this second half. You'd have to say probably edging the play just slightly in this opening 7 minutes of the second half. Hendrick now battling for the ball on the left wing.
They're not feeling sorry for themselves, Stephen, going 1-0 down. I think Serbia are a little bit in containment mode at the moment, trying to maybe manage the game a little bit. Ireland just need to keep pressing, and like I say, get in their face a little bit and pick a fight, no harm in it every now and then.
Kostic back inside to Gudeli. Gudeli outside to Pavlovic. Pavlovic back to Gudeli, and then coming back to help him out is Milinkovic-Savic. Pavlovic now on the left wing, plays the ball inside. He's given it away though. Kostic wasn't really in a position to pick it up, but then Hendrick's pass is intercepted by Pavlovic, just about 10 yards up from the halfway line inside the Irish half. Serbia back in possession, and it's all the way back to the defender Milos Veljkovic, the Werder Bremen club man. Here's Pavlovic now. Back to Gudeli. Cries a shoot there. Sarcastic cries from the Irish supporters. Gudeli is a good 50 yards from goal there.
Well, he wasn't from Serbia, that fella was saying shoot anyway. Dodgy Dublin accent.
Here's Cullen now picking up a loose ball as Kostic tried to attack down the left wing, and then it's given away to Gudeli, and outside to Pavlovic and back to Veljkovic. As Stuey said, just Serbia trying to get back in control of the game here. And Cullen perhaps just guilty of a few loose passes today. He's been really good under Stephen Kenny, one of the men who's played all World Cup qualifiers under the Irish bosses. Got to try to clear a dangerous ball out of the box here. Vlahovic just causing trouble there. Cullen now out to Alan Brown, just plays it back to Doherty and then makes a run forward. Doherty doesn't pick out Brown though with that run. Instead goes back to Ahmed Bamadeli in the box, and now it's back to Bazunu.
He needed to show himself there, Alan. I don't know whether he wanted it when he laid it off to Doherty, when he made a run forward, never really looked back, did he?
He's played a good pass up the line for Doherty here, but just a little bit too much pace on it. It's gone over the touchline for a throw in to Serbia. Good little bit of interplay there just between Ahmed Bamadeli as well and Bazunu at the back for Ireland. Just two very confident looking lads for their age.
It's been tight for Ireland, like I say, Serbia maybe not as attacking as they were in the first half, and they may have left a few more gaps in the first half, Serbia, than they have in this second half. Like I say, they're a bit in containment mode. Probably was just loosely giving that ball away. Ireland an opportunity to break.
Picked up by McGrath. Now to Hendrick. Outside to James McLean on the left wing. Milinkovic just watching him closely. Puts in another good cross towards the far post. Alan Brown, he tried to control it. The ball drifted past the far post. He was just inside the 6-yard area, and the ball kind of rolled down his shin. He was trying to control it with his thigh, I think. but it rolled down his shin and out over the byline for a goal kick to Serbia.
Just too keen to get in on the end of it, wasn't he, Alan Brown? Maybe would have been better if he had just held off 10 yards, because once the delivery come in, he's all on his own, Alan Brown. He's gotten in too early, it's gone over his head, and he's trying to kind of hook one over his head, you know, that kind of difficult skill to do, a la Bergkamp or something like that. But loose touch ends up going out for a goal kick.
It's Gudeli back in possession for Serbia, across the field to Veljkovic, and then it's to Milenkovic, who's occupying that full-back style position down that right wing. As I mentioned in the first half, the back three, you'll usually see Veljkovic and kind of sitting deep with Gudeli, then gets forward, and the other two centre-backs on the left and the right, Pavlovic and Milenkovic, tend to drift up the wings like full-backs. Very tough for the Irish team to deal with. The ball now with Milinkovic-Savic, the goal scorer, about 25 yards from goal. Leaves it to Tadic, a good run here from the outside. It's going to be pulled back here to Mitrovic, and it's a good save by Gavin Bazunu, who slid out a little bit like a Kasper Schmeichel style slide out. That ball was definitely heading for a goal, and that's an excellent save by the young Irish goalkeeper, Gavin Bazunu.
They've completely done us down that right-hand side. Juricic, yeah, got in behind James McLean and Jamie McGrath. McLean is actually roaring at Jamie McGrath because they were just too static. Good play from Serbia, one-touch football, little triangle. And Juricic, once he's gotten in behind him, he's literally almost like he's got too much time, hasn't he? And he's picked one out.
Class save, Gavin
Bazunu, yeah, using his
futsal
feet.
Style, wasn't it?
Well, using his feet, use whatever you can. Didn't panic, just made himself big, didn't he? Got us out of jail.
He certainly is a big lad, Gavin Bazunu, 6'2", and he's really well built. Here's the ball given away here by Omar Bamadeli. Here's Vlahovic trying to slide it into Mitrovic in the box, but it was well intercepted by Jeff Hendrick. Really good defensive play there from the midfielder, who's been all over the park tonight. The Burnley man, of course, formerly of St Kevin's Boys, where he came through the age grades alongside Robbie Brady, of course, who's without a club but has been training with the Irish squad in the build-up to this game. And we are going to see the first change of the evening. It is an Irish change. Callum Robinson is going to be coming on for Alan Brown in the 58th minute. So a very positive change being made by the Irish boss, Stephen Kenny. Alan Brown, he's had a decent outing tonight, but not as good as we know he can play.
Yeah, he's probably had to do a bit of a shift rather more than that, and has done it well, but obviously getting involved with Pavlovic getting booked, don't want to take any opportunities. The two of them are really at each other from that 45th minute, and obviously Pavlovic looks to me like he's a clever player, knows that he's gotten Brown booked, and would certainly be pushing him to kind of maybe pick up a second yellow card. So it's a good positive change, time to do it. I think Callum Robinson will certainly give that left full more to think about.
Ball down towards the byline for Tadic to pull back down towards the Irish goal. He pulled it back with his left boot, but it was intercepted by Omar Bamadeli. Plays it out to Hendrick. He pushes it back to Cullen, and then Cullen's long ball out has been given away to Serbia, who then couldn't get their attacking going through that central area. The ball spills back out to Gudeli, and then he's just trying to find a good man to take this attack a bit further. Mitrovic to Vlahovic inside the box. Ball comes out, and that attack is broken down inexplicably. It was Juricic who's looking a real threat in the second half, coming in off that right hand side, and Ireland win back possession. Gavin Bazunu rolls the ball out to Omar Bamadeli, who's striding forward towards the halfway line, picks out McGrath. McGrath's pass isn't good. Serbia have won it back, so he's trying to link up with Adamida once more. Coming down the left wing now like a steam train, Filip Kostic puts the ball in for Mitrovic to stab it home, and again it's another superb save by Gavin Bazunu. That should have been a goal. You want to put your house on a striker with the quality of Alexander Mitrovic. 7 goals so far in the campaign. That's not an 8, because Gavin Bazunu has pulled off an excellent save.
Yeah, it came from a breakdown this left hand side. Looked like Kostic showed Doherty a clean pair of heels, I have to say. Looked like he was really quick and pace. Once his delivery comes in, I thought Mitrovic might have been done for a high foot, to be quite honest with you. It looked like his foot was very, very high. Referee was having none of it. Bazunu can't take any chances, and it's a good stop. Another corner for Serbia. Tadic on it now.
So it is on this near side. A loud swinger from the left boot of Tadic towards the far post. Nodded down in the box. I think it was Milenkovic it was. Ball bounced up kindly for Gavin Bazunu to gather safely. And he really is keeping Ireland in this game in this second half. We're approaching the 60-minute mark. It's Ireland 0, Serbia 1.
This is where we're struggling now. Bazunu on that occasion just rolling out on Bamadeli. Serbia are squeezing us up high, not giving us very much options to play it forward. We're kind of playing ourselves into trouble.
Ball launched forward here to Adamida.
Better.
Chests it down. He makes a stick this time, but then gives it away. He was trying to pick out Hendrick, and he didn't see Milenkovic coming back there. And Adamida would be disappointed with that.
Better in his positional play, Stephen, because he was over. He was over out in front of the defender, picking it up on his chest, but just his offload is loose.
Hey, keep that kind of language for the rugby, Stewie.
Loose offload.
An offload. Alan Brown, of course, I should have mentioned as well, he got booked tonight and Adamida in the first half. Here's Serbia now attacking down through the middle, and the ball has popped out now on the edge of the box here, and there's a shot from Milenkovic-Savic. The ball cushioned back to him by Alexander Mitrovic, who was inside the box, and then almost from a similar enough area where he scored the goal from, or sorry, I should say Azerbaijan scored from their goal from on Saturday. Milenkovic-Savic fires one there, and it just goes over the target.
Oh, it's real quality, I have to say. Total understanding between Savic and Mitrovic. Savic is a cheeky little 5-yard pass into Mitrovic, just says stop it there for me. He comes onto it, looks like he has a comfortable shot for that far right hand post. You can see what he's trying to do, just guide it in, just overcooked it, but all too easy for Serbia.
So Ireland trying to attack down the right hand side. Robinson putting pressure on Pavlovic, and that's what Stephen Kenny, the manager, will want to see from his substitute, just giving the back three of Serbia a new problem to deal with. I was meant to say Alan Brown will be suspended for that next game against Azerbaijan in October. That was his second yellow card of the campaign. He was booked in injury time against Azerbaijan. Callum Robinson fires the ball over to the far side to McLean. He tries to head it down into the box. It was a really good strong header from the Wigan man, but it's gathered up by the goalkeeper and rolled out. And it was rolled out for Milenkovic-Savic. Josh Cullen tried to intercept the ball there. Bit of a wild challenge there. Milenkovic-Savic goes down. Maybe lucky Cullen not to get a yellow card there, but the referee just has a stern word with him and then says to Serbia, take the free kick.
Yeah, he's a good player, Milenkovic-Savic. The more I look at him, real quality, tall centre midfielder, 6'2", 6'3", but movement is really good. Never really dives in or lunges in.
Ball has come out to the near side now to Kostic. Back inside to Pavlovic. Plays it forward to Mitrovic. And then back to Pavlovic. Spins on his axis. Back to Gudele. He just likes to drop back into that centre-back position where you can see everything. Takes the ball back from Kostic on the left wing and then switches play out to the right-hand side. A brilliant diagonal pass by the Sevilla midfielder. He's such a brilliant midfielder, that man. Tadic now tries to play the ball back into Jurtic. He tumbles over in the box, trying to win a penalty. Knows it's the referee. Corner kick to Serbia on the far side.
Yeah, Juric is a real threat. Look, Gudeli, obviously, look, if you gave me that kind of time and space, I'd be able to zing a 50-yard pass like that as well. So he's probably getting a little bit too much time at the moment, Gudeli. We know he's got loads of quality. But once Juric just picks it up, you can see all he's ever trying to do is come at McLean at pace and offload. Sorry, apologies, I'll say something else. little pass inside. He's looking for the 1-2 around the corner. McLean on that occasion probably nearly guilty of giving away a penalty. Here comes the corner.
On the far side, it's an in-swinger from Tadic this time. 64 minutes on the clock. It's headed away on the near post. I think it might have been John Egan got the header there. But it remains Ireland 0, Serbia 1. As the away team now tried to build the pressure back up down the right-hand side. Corner kick not successful this time. And it is the 7th corner kick of the match for Serbia. None yet for the home team. Callum Robinson, Adamida now just rushing the back three of Serbia as the ball goes all the way back to their goalkeeper. Jamie McGrath on the left-hand side. Jeff Hendry coming up as well. And the ball back with Gudele on the edge of his box, plays it back to his goalkeeper Rajkovic. Pressure there from Adamida, good pressure because the keeper's giving it away to Josh Cullen about 25 yards from goal. Back to Ida now. Ida tries to nip that ball forward for James McLean, and it was Jeff Hendrick just ran around the corner to pick up the ball, but he was offside as Adamida played that ball forward.
You know what, Stephen, the ball from Cullen to Ida was the wrong pass. He needed to go out left to James McLean. I think he put Ida under a little bit of pressure. He'd now outball Ida, and he's ended up just trying to maybe just hit one around the corner.
Double substitution about to be made here. It's Daryl Horgan and Jason Malumbi who are stripped down to their shirts and shorts, and they will be coming on in the next couple of minutes when there is a break in play. And I think Stephen Kenny's looking a little bit exasperated down there as well. Again, his attempts to bring on substitutes have been scuppered by the referee as they were out in Portugal. This game
you can't be that unlucky. I mean, come on. I mean, It's not difficult to kind of tell the forward official you want to make a change.
Yeah, well, here's Serbia on the attack once more. Ball slipped through from Pavlovic to Mitrovic. He's forced to the byline, but the flag has gone up on the far side, and it is an offside against Alexander Mitrovic, free out to Ireland.
I hope you're not suggesting there's a conspiracy among referees now. It's not.
Not at all, Hughie. not at all, Stewie. I know they are upstanding individuals.
He's wearing them shoes again. I tell you, it's them shoes with those white soles. They're unlucky. Get rid of them.
Stephen Kenny's shoes, of course. Yeah, as we were mentioning on Saturday during the Azerbaijan commentary, it's those in vogue shoes with the white soles that you might see Pep Guardiola or
get a pair of Gazelles on, a pair of Adidas Gazelles.
But he does look dapper, has to be said. Stephen Kenny down there, looking quite calm and composed as he makes those substitutions. So Josh Cullen comes off, Jamie McGrath comes off, on go Daryl Horgan and Jason Malumbi for the remaining 24 minutes of this game. Ireland trailing by 1-0. And not a bad performance by Jamie McGrath tonight. Probably just didn't get on the ball as much as he'd like to. Josh Cullen, maybe not his best performance under Stephen Kenny so far.
Yeah, I think a difficult night for Cullen, considering the fact that they've got so much quality Serbia in that central position.
Yeah,
he's had a bit of a nightmare. He's had to kind of play the game on the half turn, constantly watching that threat of Mitrovic, Tadic, Veljkovic. He's probably mentally exhausted from it. And Hendrick's been excellent because he's got a little bit more freedom. But Cullen, you should never underestimate what he does for the team. He's got that discipline. He kind of holds the fort in that central area.
Gudeli's under pressure here from Ida, and then he passes forced, and he's trying to pick out a teammate. Jason Malumbi was rushing up against Milinkovic-Savic and went back to the goalkeeper, and as the cheers and whistles went up from the south stand there, the keeper managed to get that ball away. But some good pressure now from the Irish substitutes, just keeping Serbia honest at the back. Jason Malumbi picks up possession from Ahmed Bamideli. Good turn and a pass out to the left hand side from the man from Kappa Quinn. Picks out James McLean. James McLean tries to play that ball forward to Daryl Horgan, and it goes out over the sideline. But I was saying as well, Stewie, on Twitter during the game against Portugal, so many players representing different counties here today. We've got Dublin, Kildare, Meath, Leitrim, Waterford, Derry, a few others. I'm not going to mention them all here because I'll forget them all, but it's great to see, and it's something that I think the Irish supporters will really buy into with this Irish team as well.
Yeah, I think it's hugely important. But look, I think it shows that we have the talent all four corners of the country. It's important that we bring through as many players as we can. I think you're wasting your time on that Twitter lark, but that's for another day.
Yeah, absolutely. Like yourself on Instagram, Stewie. I think we need to get off it. Spend more time going to games. Here's Gavin Bazunu on the ball inside his own area. Pass out to Jason Malumbi, who's looking lively and energetic in his first couple of minutes here. He's charging down the left wing now, having received the ball back from Daryl Horgan, but the ball goes out off a Serbian boot, and it is a throw in for Ireland about 10 metres up from the halfway line and inside the Serbian half. Thrown by McLean back to Egan. Egan and Duffy looking very solid as ever tonight in the Irish back three, alongside the young Omar Bamideli. Duffy plays the ball forward to Malumbi, but bad first touch, gets away from him, and then it's given away to Serbia, who are now attacking on the right hand side. I think it's Jurtic coming inside, picks out Vlahovic on the box, spins just off the penalty area, penalty spot I should say, but it's picked up by Robinson, back helping out. He clears it away. Anywhere will do. Serbia have the ball back once more. They're trying to get it back. Jurtic on the inside left channel this time, coming in from the right hand side. Pavlovic takes the pass, gives it to Milinkovic-Savic, and then his ball is stray, and it goes out over the touchline for a throw into Ireland. Serbia about to make two changes.
Yeah, you can just see that Serbian performance maybe just kind of gone a little bit flat. Serbia now making two opportunities to bring in, freshen it up a little bit.
And it is Luka Jovic who started their match against Luxembourg on the last day, and Nemanja Radjanic. So Vlahovic and Jurtic, the two men to be hauled off, and I think sigh of relief perhaps with Jurtic. Really was proving a trend in the second half.
Look at the swagger on Vlahovic. If I walk like that, Stephen, I'd be playing in Spain. They're so confident, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. They're such
chest out, just swagger.
Absolutely. So Vlahovic goes off, the man who scored against Ireland in Belgrade. Couldn't find the net tonight. He had a couple of chances, but he was well marshalled, you'd have to say, at the back by the Irish defence.
It's a good sign if Vlahovic has been taken off, but there's always a threat. Didn't look too pleased, did he?
No, I think he would have fancied a few more minutes out there to try and find the net. But
the Netovic,
Sasha Lukic, the man coming on, the Torino midfielder. As I said, he started against Ireland and then again against Luxembourg at the weekend. A creative midfielder, plays centre mid, defensive mid though as well for Torino, and he was a target for Leeds United, who apparently were to open up talks with Lukic, the 25-year-old, another 6-foot midfielder coming on, and it will be interesting to see how he gets on this evening. Nemanja Radonjic plays for Benfica, 25-year-old midfielder, and hasn't seen too much action since transferring from Marseille in the summer. And there's been a free blown up against Serbia in the 71st minute. It will be taken by Shane Duffy.
It was Milenkovic going through the back of Adamida, wasn't it? Now probably something that maybe Adamida has learned now how maybe to deal with it is to kind of go down,
feel the contact.
Feel someone comes back at it, go down. Yeah.
Short free taken, Duffy to Hendrick. Hendrick goes back to Duffy, and then Hendrick tried to pick out Bamadelli, but it was a poor pass from the Irish midfielder. And Hendrick, after a really good first half, and maybe a good first 10 minutes in the second half, has gone a bit quiet now, gone off the boil. But it was a superb performance in the first half. Throwback maybe to that famous performance in Paris against Sweden in the Euro 2016 finals.
It's been a different dynamic to the second half, Stephen, isn't there? Like I think we spoke about Serbia being in sort of a containment mode, trying to manage the game at 1-0. That's purely because they've got that experience. They feel like they can do so. And obviously Stojkovic sensing that maybe Serbia not really on the front foot as they were in that first half. He's made a couple of opportunities, but it's been difficult for Ireland to get out at times. Options haven't been cleared. Hendrick on the ball now, good ball away to Ida.
Ida now charging after this and just coming out to put that out of play before Ida could latch onto it was Veljkovic, coming out of his anchor role in that back three, and Matt Doherty's taking the throw in from Ida, and he's won another one a little bit further down the pitch.
Never really on throw, was it, Stephen? No. He just threw it 3 yards into Doherty with 2 players of his arse. Luckily we have another opportunity at it.
It is 9:15 in the evening. We'll let you away with that one, Stewie. Ball over the top here. Here's Doherty now. Doherty attacking on the corner of the box, but it's been picked up here by Pavlovic, and then he releases the man on the right hand side. It's jetting away here from James McLean. It is Milenkovic, and it's played outside then, and it was actually Mladenovic, and he's on the edge of the box. Here's a shot pushed away really well by Bazunu. Mitrovic tries to recycle it, and then it's played in. Bazunu's in there again to block the shot away, and then Hendrick just pops that ball up in the air. Bazunu gathers, rolls it out to Matt Doherty. A chance here for Ireland to counter-attack. Matt Doherty down the right hand side to Adamida. Adamida, good control, spins away from Pavlovic. Brilliant centre forward play, gets past Veljkovic, and then Pavlovic comes back to win it back off Adamida. Really good play by the Irish centre forward. He must be really tired at this stage after a good shift on Saturday, but he showed really good play down that right wing after linking up with Matt Doherty. Ball back with Bamadelli on the halfway line, and that move down the right hand side has given an extra burst of energy to the Green Army. The Irish supporters all around the Aviva Stadium, they're up on their feet behind the South Stand goal, cheering on the boys in green. The ball's gone out for a goal kick to Serbia.
Yeah, look, the game really opening up now. That last Irish attack came off the back of a Serbian attack where they probably should have scored. Bazunu again called into action. It probably suits Ireland now that the game goes like this, Stephen. I know we're going to have to ride a look here. We're going to be left at times with 3v3 situations as we did then. But in order for us to kind of surge forward and get opportunities going forward, it's going to have to accept it. Just the quality from Ireland needs to be better. It was Hendrick, the one player you probably wanted on the ball on that occasion. Loose pass into Daryl Horgan, giving the ball straight back to Serbia. But
another good save from Gavin Bazunu.
Yeah, hasn't put a foot wrong the whole game, to be quite honest.
He's been magnificent. Ball now with Serbia. Milenkovic plays out to the right hand side, and coming in now to give that ball to Tadic is Milanovic. Here's Mitrovic now dribbling inside the area. He's stopped up by Bamadelli, and the loose ball picked up by Doherty out to Hendrick. Nice back flick from Hendrick to Daryl Horgan. Horgan picks out the run of Jason Malumbi down the right hand side. The man from Waterford busting a gut to get out there But what a lovely little sequence of play there from Ireland after the Bamidele block.
Yeah, well, first of all, really quality defending from Bamidele, and Doherty on that occasion needed to have his wits about him, because if he puts a foot wrong there, he's pulling them down for a penalty. And then when we break again, it looks like we're going to get Malumbi away down the right hand side. Horrigal just a little bit, put too much pace on the pass. Again, it's just another example of the quality is just not where it needs to be. I know the crowd are getting behind us, but a bit of composure and maybe keep the ball for a few minutes.
Big Shane Duffy in there to get that ball back for Ireland. It's now with John Egan. Egan to Hendrick. Hendrick, good ball over the top here for Ida to chase, but the substitute, or this defender of Velkovic, I should say, got there, clears it away, and then Jeff Hendrick had the chance to take that loose ball down, and it comes off his foot and out for a throw in.
Well, he's played the long ball initially, hasn't he, to Ida, and when it's come back, it's him. He's closing down and he's trying to pick up the second ball. It's just a rush of blood to the head, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. That sort of decision making at key moments. Just need calm. You wouldn't see any of the Serbians doing that. They're always going to put their foot on it and try and recycle again, keep us going.
Now, there's been a free kick awarded to Serbia. It's about 30 yards from their own goal line. One of my old tweets has popped up from last week. I did coin a nickname for the Irish centre-back, Stewie. You might like it. Bamidele.
I do like that, actually. Bamidele.
He's been really good tonight. He's been really, really good tonight. And that lad has a bright future. But here's Serbia on the attack now. Bazunu goes out to try and rush this, but James McLean has come back to snatch it off the toe of the substitute, Radonjic, who was cleared through on goal after Bazunu flew out. The one mistake he's made tonight, and there was James McLean to make a crucial interception.
He looked in trouble as Bazunu really had to commit to it once he's gone for it, and he was never going to get there. But I just wonder, was it the fact that he did go and close it down, and it forced the Serbian player to kind of play it around them, and that's what allowed McLean to get back? So one of them situations where a bad choice ends up getting a good look.
Corner kick from the far side for Serbia. 77 minutes on the clock. It's still Ireland 0, Serbia 1. Live international football and off the ball. Ball has been crossed in, and it goes over the head of every player in the box out the far side. It's going to be picked up here and crossed in, and it's blocked away by Callum Robinson, the cross from Kostic. Callum Robinson has shown since coming off the bench he can definitely chip in with the defensive effort for Ireland here. As the crowd get up on their feet, singing the fields of Athenry. There's going to be 2 more subs brought on for Ireland. The last 2 subs for Stephen Kenny to make. Jeff Hendrick goes off, as does Adam Ida. They're replaced by Conor Harahan and James Collins for the last 12 minutes of the action at the Aviva Stadium, where Ireland still trail by a goal to 0. Milinkovic-Savic scored in the 20th minute. Stephen Doyle here alongside a midfield maestro himself, Stuey Byrne. There's plenty of them out there today.
It's a good decision from Stephen. I have to say, Hendrick probably showing signs of tiredness. Last couple of touches he had have been loose. We've got Conor Harahan to come on. I think set plays could be key here, especially if you can get him on 1 or 2. Collins, indeed, I'd ran himself on the ground. I think Collins might give you that little bit of regression up top as well. Might be able to force a couple of mistakes.
Yep, James Collins, of course, now plying his trade with Cardiff City, where he's linked up with the former Irish boss Mick McCarthy, winning his 11th cap tonight. And there's a free kick now to Serbia, which will be taken by Dusan Tadic. Who else on the left wing? It's about 3 yards in from the touchline on this near side, down the Irish right. Tadic swings that ball in. It's a bullet header, and it was a bullet header from the man who scored the goal in the first half, Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, the Lazio midfielder. Such an accomplished player, but that header was well off target.
Delivery so good, Stephen. They just seem to have that continuity. There's always a Serbian player either just short or just about to get on the end of one, but for some good defending from Ireland. But on that occasion, Savic met it with real pace, didn't he? Almost caught it too well, ended up heading it far wide.
Ball now played out to Bamidele, gets away from his marker, then goes back to Duffy. Duffy picks out the Norwich City centre back again, and the ball has gone out of play. Bamidele, who has yet to feature in the Premier League for Norwich City since they got promoted. He was on the bench for the last 2 matches against Manchester City and Leicester City. I would imagine his boss back at Norwich will be quite happy with what he's seen from Bamidele on international duty, and it might just give him Might just give him the chance to come in for Norwich when he returns back to club action. Here's Daryl Horgan picking up the ball from Shane Duffy inside the Serbian half. We've just seen the whole Irish crowd get up on their feet, cheering and clapping. They really are appreciating what they're seeing here tonight. Ahmed Bamadelli too. Daryl Horgan on the edge of the box. The ball just slips away from the man from Galway. Former Salthill, Devon and Galway United player, of course, plays with Dundalk under Stephen Kenny. Here's Conor Harron, swings across in, comes off two Serbian heads, picked up on the far side by Kostic in a really deep area in his own box, clears that ball away. Ball headed down. It's a loose ball headed away by the sub Jovic. Ireland have possession back once more. It's McLean coming in off the left wing. He gets past one player, can't get past Milenkovic, and he's given that ball away. And it's with Mitrovic now, coming towards the halfway line. Tries to slip the ball through to Jovic or to Lukic here, and Lukic under pressure from Shane Duffy. He's on the edge of the Irish box now. Plays it back to Tadic. Tadic supporting the outside from Kostic. Kostic controls the ball with his left boot inside the box. Tries to clip it across. Headed down. Mitrovic takes the ball on the volley, and he's volleyed it right into the arms of Gambazunu. It was a really light touch from the Fulham striker after Tadic played him in, but good move there from Serbia, and that's what they do. They like to play those little clip balls in to a man in the box to try and head it down and goal.
Never looks forced either, does it, Stephen? It's always calculated. There's a calmness about it as well. I think it might have been Jovic on that occasion who's kind of broke down this left-hand side, and he's not over forcing it. He's just dinking one back in, a little nod down, and it's all very calm and collect. Little nod down from Mitrovic, got a strike away. Shane Duffy just managed to get a block on. I think he might have got a knockout, but he's okay. But what are we on? 81 minutes approaching 82 minutes. I think you could hear the Irish crowd there trying to lift this Irish team, because we need something, because we're just struggling to be able to get into that final third of this Serbian half and create any kind of an opportunity.
Ball down the outside for James Collins to chase. He's up against Pavlovic, who gets there before him. Not exactly blessed with pace, James Collins. Pavlovic has put that ball out for a throw in, and it's been given to Serbia. Somehow it's been given to the away team, and it seemed like it was definitely an Irish ball. James Collins picked the ball up, and now he's just looking with amazement at the linesman as we see a replay of it here. And he didn't even get a touch on it. It came off Pavlovic's right boot, clear as day, and the assistant referee, well, he certainly needs to get a pair of glasses or a pair of contact lenses, because how could he not see it came off the Serbian player? He was about 2 yards from the ball. It was clear as day, and Dusan Tadic has been taken off here. Substitutes being made. He hands the captain's armband over to Alexander Mitrovic. He's gone around shaking hands like a president, and delaying time here because Serbia have the lead with just 7 minutes left to play, and he is being replaced by the number 6, Nemanja Maksimovic, and that just goes to show you they're going to try and block it up here. The Getafe midfielder, more of a defensive option than Dusan Tadic. Ireland have won the ball back from the Serbia throw-in. It's with Doherty. Doherty down to the byline, tries to cross the ball in. Good block away by Veljkovic, but it's a corner kick for Ireland, and a chance there for the big men to come up. There hasn't been many corner kicks for Ireland. In fact, this is the first one of the match. After 84 minutes, Herahan short one to Horgan on the corner of the box on this near side. Back out to Herahan, looking for an angle to cross it in. He's been taken down. It has to be a free kick. Referee says no. Play on. Counter-attack here from Serbia. It's with the number 7, Luka Jovic. No, and he's on the edge of the box, out to Kostic. Kostic has a shot. A brilliant save again by Gambazunu, who came out to the winger from Serbia, blocked the shot away, and now Ireland have a chance to counter-attack. Callum Robinson on the halfway line, up the right-hand side. The two sides slugging away at each other here like a pair of heavyweights in the boxing ring. Cross put in at the poor one. It's cleared away by Gudeli, and now it's with Milenkovic, and Ireland's counter-attack breaks down. Serbia tried to poke that ball out to Radonjic, and he's been called offside. A free kick to Ireland. Now, something going on off the ball here. There's been a big chorus of boos around the pitch, and I think it's actually just for a bit of time wasting there.
Just kick the ball away more than anything.
Yellow card though has been given to Radonjic, and it's going to be a free kick to Ireland for Gavin Bazunu to take. We didn't get much time to review that chance there from Kostic, but again, another brilliant save from Gavin Bazunu. This kid is magnificent.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Always looks reassured, doesn't he? It always looked like saving. He never looked like we were in trouble. It was a hell of a break from Serbia. Came off the back of Ireland, stupidly going short from the corner. Nick Hourahan played it into Daryl Horgan, and he was under pressure. Horgan's layoff was a bit loose, you know, and the Hurahan's reaching down, and then he's expecting the foul, and you think he's fouled, and it's just unnecessary at this stage of the game. Needs to get a delivery into the box. It was our first corner, Stephen.
There's Doherty now getting around. Kostic pulls the ball back, and Collins was in the box there waiting for that ball to come in. It's cleared away though by Serbia. It actually came from a long ball, diagonal pass from Gavin Bazunu to pick out Doherty. Here's Robinson putting a cross in. It's not a down.
Yes!
It's a goal for Ireland. It's a goal for Ireland after 86 minutes. And it's Shane Duffy in the box, causing problems like a wrecking ball. Serbia now are absolutely out on their feet. They can't believe they conceded. With 86 minutes on the clock, it's the Republic of Ireland 1, Serbia 1.
I think the Serbians I don't know whether he's kicked the point blank off Duffy. It looked like it might have been an OG. I think it was Callum Robinson, just first time, great delivery into the box, and it looked like the keeper's going to pick it. He's kicked it off his own player.
Yeah.
It's an OG.
Yeah. Shane Duffy had come in to try and head that ball in, but he was falling over. It looked like the player might have kicked it off Shane Duffy, but it actually came off the number 4, the opposite number 4, Nikola Milenkovic. Stephen Kenny did a run up the sideline, cheering the equaliser, because Ireland have drawn level here with Serbia right at the death. There's still 4 minutes to play. They might even find their winners, Stewie.
Well, why not? I mean, why not? I mean, I think they should go for it, to be quite honest with you. I think that's what the crowd want to see. The crowd have got their back. I know Serbia are going to look to get one as well, but maybe we should try and go and get a winner, try and squeeze and put them under pressure. Daryl Horgan now, Robinson squeezing.
The defender now passing back to his goalkeeper. Conor Robinson and James Collins were rushing the centre back and the goalkeeper. Puts out a terrible ball once more. Herahan almost picked it up, but Milenkovic, the man who scored the OG, has managed to win a throw. He almost gave that ball away. Wow, what a dramatic finish to this game. 87 minutes on the clock now. It's Ireland 1, Serbia 1. Serbia in possession just inside the Irish half. The ball's been played forward to Luka Jovic, the Real Madrid man. What a quality side Serbia are. Players from Fiorentina, from Werder Bremen, from Monaco, Sassuolo, Sevilla, Real Madrid, Lazio. And here's this Irish team, young players who aren't playing regular football, going toe to toe with this quality, high quality European football team. Ball has been cleared away by the goalkeeper. Shane Duffy's up there to head it down. James McLean battling away for the ball here. Malumbi picks up the loose one. He's streaking away from his marker. Picks out Matt Doherty on the right wing. Matt Doherty has had another really good performance in a green shirt tonight. Back to Omar Bamadelli. He's been pressured here by the substitute, Maksimovic. Back to Bazunu. Bazunu clears that ball up the left wing, or the right wing I should say. Matt Doherty tried to keep it in play, and he just couldn't. It was a throw in to Serbia. And there we have the official attendance, 25,415 supporters here for the Republic of Ireland, and they really have got behind Stephen Kenny's team tonight. It's been a magnificent performance from the Irish team, but they really need to try and see this out, get a point, and maybe even 3 points. There's enough time.
Well, if ever there was a game to bring Jason Malumbi into, this is the one, because he's just put one on Gadelli. No, he's been booked for it, but you know what? There's no harm in it either. I think he was the perfect introduction. You know, a bit of grit about him. Puts his foot in. Gadelli moaning and screaming. Yeah, I think that's key. Like, you know, Ireland just need to know when to kind of play that card, when to play, when to pass. They've got to defend here now. Like, it's going to be a tricky last 4 or 5 minutes. Obviously, key is don't concede. You never know, there might be one more opportunity for us.
And the free kick is absolutely brutal. And it was Gadelli. That's the first mistake he's made all night. well over the Irish goal, and it goes out for a goal kick. I actually missed it. He did. He hit the corner of the crossbar.
He's completely overkicked it. What's happened is Bazuna's come out to collect it and he's misjudged it, and it's just come down with snow on it. It's come off the corner of the crossbar.
Crossbar challenge has been completed by Gadelli, just to cap off a fine performance.
Could you imagine if that had gone in, Stephen? Oh my God.
Anyway, it didn't. It's still Ireland 1, Serbia 1. An OG from Serbia in the last 5 minutes has given Ireland a sniff of hope here. Conor Herahan plays the ball out to James McLean on the left wing. Daryl Horgan, an underlapping run ahead of the Wigan man. He picks out Daryl Horgan. Back to McLean. He's got support inside from Malumbi. Instead he goes back to John Egan. Ireland just being patient here. There's no need to rush it. As we approach the 90th minute, back to Bazunu, tries to pick it on Bamadelli. What a pass! He spins away from the marker. Milinkovic-Savic plays the ball forward to Robinson. Brilliant play. by Bazunu. Bamidele. Robinson crossed the ball into Collins. He has to stretch his neck up to try and head that ball down. Picks out Harahan. It's with Horgan. Back to Harahan. McLean on the outside. McLean has 4 shirts to aim at on the inside. He comes in his right foot. Crossing the back post and Matt Doherty. It's headed clear. It's going to be a corner kick to Ireland. Darko Lazovic got up there to head that ball out over the byline. This is a superb finish to this game from the Irish team. We're into added time. And there's going to be a corner kick from Daryl Horgan.
Well, Board officials indicated 3 minutes of added time. I think we've probably played 30 seconds of that. Let's hope it's going to be the last 2.5 minutes. Ireland bombarding this Serbian box. Daryl Horgan with the corner.
Horgan is going to be a right-footed outswinger from Daryl Horgan.
Serbia are zonally marking, Stephen. No man-to-man marking.
Daryl Horgan floats this one in. It's a good delivery. Shane Duffy was trying to get up there, but Milinkovic, the man who scored the OT, got there first. Heads it out. It's spilled out to the left wing. Conor Harron. Quick throw into Callum Robinson. Quick thinking there from the Cork man. It's now Robinson to cross this ball in. And Johnny Egan, Shane Duffy gets up there. He heads the ball just over the bar. And you would have put your house on Shane Duffy scoring that. That should have been the winner. That could be the chance.
I thought he was all over. It was a quick throw into Callum Robinson. Callum Robinson's been fantastic since he come on. Wonderful turn and delivery there, first time with his left foot. Looks like Duffy might have even headed off a Croatian head. He was always struggling for it.
6 inches over the bar. Shane Duffy, a bullet header. What a brilliant chance there to take the victory here. It's still all square. Stephen Kenny's team have been heavily criticised since that performance against Azerbaijan, which they drew 1-1. And they really have answered the critics tonight. Not fully, but they put in a performance to give everybody a bit of hope and a bit of heart coming out of this international window. They played brilliantly against Portugal last week, and here they are playing brilliantly against Serbia tonight. It's been a real late surge here as well for the Irish team as they try and find a winner. There's still time. There's 91 minutes and 48 seconds on the clock. 3 minutes of added time to be played. Here's Malumbi on the ball.
Hit it.
Finds Bamidele, who's in a real attacking position here. He has a shot and a save by the goalkeeper. What a save by Rajkovic. But what a shot from the Norwich City centre-back, Andrew Bamidele.
Oh, you might have to hit it because it was just made for the pick to the 40 yards out. No one's come to close him down. Difficult to know whether it was a camera save, but another corner on the left-hand side from Ireland. Last chance probably to nick one.
It's on the far side. Conor Harahan to deliver this with his right foot. An outswinger. Up for it was John Egan, and it comes off John Egan's head. It goes out for a corner. It was off the back of the defender. Another corner kick for Ireland. Serbia are on the ropes here. They're rattled. They might concede a goal that would see them stay in second position behind Portugal in the group. They need all 3 points to draw level with the Portuguese. They'll still be behind them, having scored 1 goal less. Corner kick has been swung in, and it's towards Shane Duffy again. And the goalkeeper has taken Rajkovic out of it. Rajkovic down, holding his head. Is he just trying to waste time? Well, maybe not. They need to score a goal.
He might have leveled his arm a little bit there, Shane Duffy.
Well, we just get a replay here, but look at that shot from Bamidele. We're just getting a replay of it now, and I think that was on target, and that was a very good save by Predrag Rajkovic. Ireland have had 2 superb chances to take all 3 points here tonight, but they won't. The full-time whistle has been blown by the Spanish referee Jose Martinez, and what a game we've seen here at the Aviva Stadium tonight. There was a brave, fantastic performance against Portugal last Wednesday where Ireland take the lead, and they were killed by 2 late goals from Cristiano Ronaldo. But they have absolutely taken the wind out of the sails of Serbia, who thought they were cruising to a victory. And a brilliant performance tonight, you'd have to say, from this Irish team, but particularly in the closing minutes when they put all the pressure on the visiting side, who are leading by a goal to nil thanks to that 20th minute header from Milinkovic-Savic. And coming into the closing stages, Ireland putting on all the pressure, and a cross in to put them under pressure was coming off their defender Milinkovic and into the back of the Serbian net. An equaliser in the 87th minute. Both sets of players have absolutely spilled their guts out onto that pitch tonight. It's been a superb performance. We will be back for the full-time analysis of this superb game. It's finished after 90 minutes. Ireland won, Serbia won in this World Cup Group A qualifier.
Football on Off the Ball. News Talk already gives you your daily fix of news and entertainment. But wouldn't you like a little bit more? News Talk Extra is everything you might have missed, plus expert tips, podcasts and competitions, all straight to your inbox. Subscribe now at newstalk.com/extra. The Eason Book Club on The Pat Kenny Show.
This month, Eason recommended another 4 books for us. Mrs. March by Virginia Faito, The Ex-Husband by Karen Hamilton, The Madness of Crowds by Louise Penny, and our Eason Book of the Month for September, The Dark by Emma Houghton. After suffering a personal tragedy, A&E doctor Kate North leaps at the opportunity to work at a research facility in Antarctica, where she'll be replacing the previous doctor who died in a tragic accident. However, as time goes on and Antarctica descends into complete darkness, Kate soon suspects that his death may not have been an accident after all. The more questions she asks, the more dangerous it becomes. We'll be reviewing the book from cover to cover on Thursday, September the 16th.
The Eason Book Club on The Pat Kenny Show, sharing book recommendations with book lovers every month.
Do join us and discover more at newstalk.com/Eason's Book Club.
Become a chartered accountant and transform your career. Take the flexible route and study online. Apply by September the 13th at charteredaccountants.ie.
This summer, it's on. Man on. Move on or move out the way. It's no second chances. Back door firmly shut. It's time to climb that hill. Time to shut the neighbours up. It's county on your shoulders. It's jersey on your back. It's leave it all out there. One slip and it's all gone. That's all that matters. Playtime's over. The championship is on. AIB, proud sponsors of the GAA All-Ireland Senior Football Championship.
Hunger. It's the enemy hiding in plain sight. It's the silent killer amid the deafening blasts. Conflict is now the main driver of hunger around the world. With your help, Concern can provide emergency support to protect millions from the world's deadliest weapon. Because nothing kills like hunger. Visit concern.net and donate now.
There are many reasons people switch to Clear Mobile.
Serious deal. Simple as.
Customer service is A1.
Great coverage.
There you go. Unlimited calls, texts and data with 99% 4G population coverage from $12.99 a month for a limited time. You clear? They are. Switch today at clearmobile.ie. 30-day contract. Activation fee and fair use applies. Max data speed 5 megabits per second. $12.99 subject to eligibility. Ends 30th September 2021. See clearmobile.ie for terms.
He's a 7-time All-Ireland winner. He's a Mayo legend. Now they're together on the same team. Join Paddy Andrews and Andy Moran for the hit of the GAA season. The Football Pod with Paddy and Andy.
9 months, you're a monk. If that goes well then you have October, November, December, and you enjoy it, and you Lord Prince of copper-faced jacks.
Get the hop on everyone else. Hear the Football Pod and more first on the OTB Sports app every Tuesday morning. For the latest on GAA, Olympics, rugby, football and more, download the OTB Sports app, turn on push notifications, and hear it here first.
Epic laptop deals at Curry's PC World. Save €100 on the HP Pavilion 14-inch laptop with Intel Pentium Gold and Full HD touchscreen, now only $439. Or get the Lenovo IdeaPad 14-inch laptop with Intel Core i3 processor and 128 gigs of SSD storage for just $419. Save €100. And get a free €50 one-for-all gift card with laptops 249 and over. Get in store or online at currys.ie. T's and C's apply. See website for details.
News Talk Breakfast.
Yeah, it's raining them. For the first time in history, it's going to stop raining men. The Weather Girls' 1980 disco hit, It's a Banger, has been given a woke makeover to use more inclusive pronouns.
Actually, the Irish Daily Mail has done their top 10 re-woked songs. Let It Snowflake, Simply the Equal Best. I was wondering as well, what about Shania Twain's song, Man, I Feel Like a Woman? Is it now Person, I Feel Like a Person?
News Talk Breakfast with Ciara Kelly and Shane Coleman.
In association with AIR.
Weekday mornings at 7 on News Talk. Football on Off the Ball.
Here's Robinson putting it cross in. It's not a down.
Yes!
It's a goal for Ireland. It's a goal for Ireland after 86 minutes. And it's Shane Duffy in the box, causing problems like a wrecking ball. Well. You're very welcome back to the Aviva Stadium in a very mild, cool Dublin evening. And what an evening it's been, because it really did have to cool down. It got very, very hot in the closing minutes there. And as you heard, there was an equaliser. We thought Shane Duffy might have got a touch on it last, but it did come off Milinkovic, the centre-back, an OG for Serbia, to get Ireland a point. But it's what they really deserve, because the Irish play across the whole match, but especially in that last 5 to 10 minutes, they deserved a goal for all that play and all that pressure they put on Serbia. But before we get into the football stuff, Stewie, it was very interesting. Stephen Doyle here alongside Stuey Byrne. It was very interesting to see, after the full-time whistle, Stephen Kenny and his players all together went right around the pitch. They did a bit of a lap of honour, and you have to credit the Irish crowd as well. And I was saying to you as well, just off air there, usually it's the south stand, that's where all the singing section are behind the goal. They were absolutely magnificent throughout the game, but it wasn't just them. The whole crowd, it was 25,415 attendance. The whole crowd got behind the team tonight.
It just seemed to me, Stephen, like it was a show of just to kind of galvanise the crowd, to maybe say, look, back me here. Just get behind me, get behind us. Back me. Let's see. Let's give this an opportunity to give it a chance. It certainly felt like that. I don't know whether it was something he meant to do, or whether it just naturally happened because he was elated. You could see he was hugging his own staff. I think the players in particular came over to him as if to kind of maybe say, there you go, Gaffer, or Stephen. We try to give a little bit back. I think the game tonight, I mean, let's forget about all the stuff that's happened midweek and let's just take the game on its merit. It was fantastic. It was. Look, it was Serbia, quality opposition, full of quality players, and you could see, they're a proper side. Probably deservedly went in front. We were under the cost a little bit in that first half, but we reacted, Stephen, which was key. We reacted. We kind of knew we were up against a better team, but we scrapped at times. We made the changes when we need to make the changes. The substitutions, I think, were made at the right time. Bringing on Malumbi, perfect game for him. Got the foot in, upset a few people, and we were struggling in that second half to get ourselves into any kind of situation to get ourselves into a goal scoring opportunities. But what we did do really well, was we were able to get this Irish crowd behind us. I can't remember an atmosphere in this ground. Now maybe I'm being biased because of this awful 18 months we had, but I cannot remember being in this ground in a game and with that kind of an atmosphere for a long time. There's only 25,000 here. Can you imagine if it had been at capacity? But the crowd got behind Ireland, they galvanised them, and we surged forward. It wasn't brilliant, it wasn't laden with quality, but it was what we did. We always do well. We found an answer. We found an answer. Now it was an OG, whereby I can't remember who the player was. I think it came off
Milinkovic, the number 4.
It was buried off Milinkovic at point blank range, but it came from pressure. And then you look at the Omabama deadly strike, which was a wonder strike. 25 yards out, keepers had to pull a save out, top drawer. Now look, let's not brush over it. Bazunu, top notch. World-class goalkeeping expedition, pulled off probably 4 or 5 top-class saves. Yeah. But look, that's his job. That's what he's there for. You can work on that.
Well, look, let's focus on him first, because listen, Gavin Bazunu, he's winning his 7th cap tonight. He's just 19 years of age. Manchester City goalkeeper, signed from Shamrock Rovers a couple of seasons ago. He's been sent out on loan to Portsmouth, where he's kept 3 clean sheets in his first 4 matches. And he's been absolutely magnificent here tonight. And whatever about his, I'm just seeing him getting interviewed here after the game as well, as he was over in Portugal. And whatever about his performances after the match as well, when he spoke again after the Portugal game, he just sounds like a fellow who's had 30 or 40 caps under his belt. Yeah. And he shows that on the pitch as well. He's just so cool, calm and collected. It would be so easy for a young goalkeeper of his age, a teenager, just to crumple under that kind of pressure tonight against Serbia, but he didn't.
Yeah, I think it was the array of saves, Stephen, for me. So good with his hands, left and right hand side, excellent on the ground, always good with his feet, so composed. He'll take the ball in any position, and if he's under pressure, he'll clear it. But then, of course, it was the point blank stuff, the 1v1 situations where there was 2 or 3 of them where we looked like we were in real trouble, and he making himself big, saving with his feet. It got to the stage where I was actually quite comfortable for us to go forward, because you kind of think he'll save it.
Yeah.
You know, he's in that form. He just looked like he was filling the whole goal.
And as well as that,
that's not the way to play, of course. You know, but it was just the occasion that was in it. You know, I'm delighted that we went 1-0 down. We recovered. We kind of got ourselves back into the game through a mix of good play and will. But then, even when we were struggling in the second half, we still went looking for that equaliser. And then when we got the equaliser, we went looking for the winner. You know, and that's key as well, I think, and I think that's why we've seen such a positive reaction from Stephen Kenny and the players. And I personally felt there didn't seem to be an ounce of negativity in the ground tonight. I don't know how you felt. Didn't hear anyone moaning or groaning. I just thought they wanted to get behind the team and try and push this project forward.
Absolutely. Well, look, let's go back to the start of the game, Stewie, because it was such a bright start, and they shipped a bit of pressure for the first 5 to 7 minutes, but then they started to grow into the game, and I suppose the main catalyst for that was Jeff Hendrick, who put on one of the best 45 minutes we've seen from him since that game against Sweden that people always talk about, that we never see him kind of reproducing what he did in Paris that time against Sweden in Euro 2016. And as well as that, James McLean, who has come in for an awful lot of criticism this week because of his performance against Azerbaijan. Some people saying that he's a beaten duck, that he needs to be left out of the team, but his deliveries tonight, his crosses were brilliant. So those two players in particular really were fantastic for in that first half.
Yeah, I was worried first 10 minutes, Stephen. Serbia looked like they really started the game on the front foot. They were full of energy. They were squeezing Ireland. You could see they wanted to put us under pressure, because they felt we're not good enough to play in pressurised situations. So I was worried that in that first 10 minutes we couldn't get out. And then it took Jeff Hendrick get the ball 20 yards out, 2 players on his back, and you know, wonderful awareness, a little spin, loses the first man and avoids the second tackle, and then all of a sudden it was like a catalyst for everybody else. It kind of gave him huge confidence then, and from then on in he was getting on the ball, he was surging forward with us. Now look, Serbia were coming at us as well. There was quality for them. The point I'm trying to get across is that at times when we had opportunity to play and break forward, I think we did that, and we did that really, really well. You rightly point out McLean. He certainly has played well tonight. Just kind of full of endeavour, full of energy. His crossing was definitely better than it has been in the past. But look, it's just there are certain things in the game which I think are important to kind of maybe point out to those who are struggling to kind of understand what Stephen Kenny's trying to do here. And I would go back to our kickouts, you know, with Bazunu, you know, playing it to Shane Duffy, and us being, you know, comfortable within that sort of whole penalty area of the box, even despite the fact that you've got 4 or 5 Serbians squeezing us up high. We're trying to pass it out, and we've now got players that are actually comfortable in that position. Shane Duffy, I made my point in the commentary, he wouldn't have done that 2 years ago. You know, the goalkeeper wouldn't have done it 2 years ago. No one would have dropped short 2 years ago. And if you continue to do that, and you continue to try and coach these players to do that, it will come. You look at Adam Ida tonight, probably showed for the first time a little bit of naivety in his experience at playing up centre forward. But he's only going to get better and better. And I think it goes for a lot of the players. Like, he's 19 years of age. When I was 19 years of age, I was playing in the Bowls reserve team, you know, and it took me 3 or 4 years, and I know, people will certainly text in and say, well, you weren't good enough, and so on and so forth, but it happens. Top level players need to be coached. You know, they don't just become. It's the top players that at 19 or 20 maybe can do it, but you know, you have to develop as a player. It takes time, it takes coaching, it takes consistency. And you have to be playing week in, week out, and it will come. So, you know, I just feel that I'm not saying tonight vindicates anything.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that at all.
Well, I think we're at the stage now where we have to stop drawing, you know, big conclusions from.
You have to get real about what it is we're trying to do here. Like, you know, we don't have the players coming through. We've had little or no investment in the game here at grassroots for forever, you know. And I'd only wish people would see the investment that goes into the game in other countries. Serbia would be a very good example of it. Like, you know, we were talking about this at half time, like, you know, and I've experienced this anytime I've ever played in Europe. Like, you know, these guys come out of the womb with their chest out there. they're, they think that they've been told they're the dogs, whatever.
It's the Serbian players,
right
of course,
from the get-go. Like, they're being told you are the best thing in the world, and they play like that.
Yeah.
And
that's something basically Stephen Kenny is trying to instill in his players now.
Confidence,
that confidence,
belief,
in themselves. They were a brilliant team, Serbia.
Excellent.
People said they're a nation that have underachieved over the last number of years.
Yeah.
You look at all the talent they have there in the team: Vlahovic, Mitrovic, Tadic, Milinkovic, Savic, Kostic, such brilliant players. Luka Jovic, Real Madrid player coming off the bench. So there was always that concern, maybe a little bit on edge, and I think Ireland maybe definitely for the first part of the second half they struggled a bit to get into the game. Serbia just took control, they calmed things down, but then took little opportunities when they had them. So I suppose that's something that you must praise this Irish performance for as well, that they kept them down to one goal for that period of time.
Yeah, and thanks to the goalkeeper, I have to say, and some last-ditch defending. But you know what? That's what it's there for. I think if Ireland had parked the bus here in the second half, we just wouldn't have gotten out. It's as simple as that. Like, and we wouldn't have probably wouldn't have gotten the goal opportunities that we got, and we probably wouldn't have gotten the goal. There were times in the game where we had to kind of change the dynamic, especially in that second half, to try and get us further up the pitch and get ourselves into goal scoring opportunities. And the substitutions did that for me. Probably been critical in the past of Stephen, maybe making substitutions too late at the wrong time, bringing on the wrong players. But I think they all came at the right time here. Bringing on Callum Robinson, 57 minutes, no hanging around. Looked like Brown was in a bit of trouble, wasn't he? His fullback was getting in his face, that got him booked. Make a change. Malumbi, bring him on. Perfect game for him. A little bit of that, go around, start smacking a few people, make a nuisance. Like, it doesn't make a huge difference, but it's the little differences. And it was able to just to allow us to kind of maybe get out of a little bit of a rut that we were in the second half, get us up the pitch, and ultimately the goal came.
I have to say I'm organised after this performance. I'm energised by the results. We could talk about this all night, but we are coming towards the end. But just to cap it off, Stewie, it is the end of the international window. After some of the discussions that went on after Saturday, such negativity and talk about Kenny's job being on the line, which just seemed a bit silly at this stage. It's so important that he goes out on this high note, and he went out there, took the adoration of the crowd. But that there's not going to be all these, lengthy discussions until the next international break, all about Stephen Kenny's job, this, that, and the other. People can take heart from this performance tonight.
I think so. Yeah, I think there needs to be clearer communication. To be honest with you, Stephen, especially from the association. I mean, reading the programme notes tonight and listening to Jonathan Hill talking about, a 2022 to 2025 roadmap. They're still listening to people, to stakeholders, and over the next 3 months. And do you know what? Come out and be a little bit clearer, will you? Come on, because the problem is now it's just creating division everywhere, and regardless, do you know what? Regardless of whether Stephen Kenny's in the hotspot or Pep Guardiola or whatever, we need a plan to go forward, because we want to change. And I think it's fair to say we want to change how we approach games and how we play, and that there has to be a collective understanding around that. And it's a bit divisive at the moment, and it's not helping anybody.
Brilliant stuff, Stewie. Thank you very much. Stephen Doyle here alongside Stuey Byrne for tonight's live international football action on Off the Ball. It's been a brilliant night, a brilliant game, and a good result in the end for Ireland. A great team like Serbia coming here, they thought they had the victory. Milinkovic Savic scoring the 20th minute, but an OG in the last 3 minutes of the game saw Ireland get the draw. It finished Ireland 1, Serbia 1. That's all for us tonight on Off the Ball. I'm sure the lads in the morning will be buzzing to talk about this game. Ger and Owen, of course, back on for OTB AM tomorrow morning, live across all the OTB social channels from 7:30 AM. And we'll be back tomorrow night from 7 PM here on News Talk with full reaction and more buzzing talk after tonight's game. Tom Dunn is up next.
Give him a ball and he out of grass. He'll give you a move for the